And 6-0 losers in Buffalo, Vancouver came out flying. Bob Mano gave the Canucks the lead for the first time in the series, beating Don Edwards with only the second shot of the game. 3 minutes later, 20-year-old Gary Lupul scored his first ever playoff goal. The youngster showing great anticipation and perfect position for the rebound. Then, what looked like disasters struck for Vancouver. The redhead, the franchise, Glenn Hanlon, starting his first ever playoff game, was forced to leave the game with a broken bone in his shoulder. Gary Bromley replaced Hanlon and was nothing short of outstanding. In the third period, Vancouver go in front 5-2. Ole Brassar picking up a drop pass from another Canuck Swede, Thomas Gradin, and beating Don Edwards high. As it turned out, that was a key goal because the Sabres came roaring back with 2 quick markers from Tony McKegney and Richard Martin. Martin's third goal of the playoffs with just over a minute to go. But Vancouver held on to win it 5-4. There was controversy in last night's game. It's alleged that Tiger Williams two-handed Scotty Bowman over the head, sending the Sabres coach to the floor unconscious. Bowman recovered and came back, but the Sabres as a team never fully recovered. The league has since suspended Tiger Williams, so Vancouver will play Game 4 without the Tigers. Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Armitage with a welcome to Stanley Cup 80 from Vancouver, where tonight the Canucks take on the Buffalo Sabres in Game 4 of their best-of-5 elimination series. And now let's meet the remainder of our telecast crew with their pregame predictions.
I'm Jim Robson, and I think the talent of the Buffalo Sabres and Vancouver's loss of Glenn Hanlon and Tiger Williams will mean Buffalo will end this series tonight.
I'm Ted Reynolds. Jim Robson's watched every game these two clubs have played against each other since 1970 when they entered the league at the same time, and I'm not going to argue with him.
Hi, I'm Howie Meeker. Obviously, Buffalo has the most talent, and I just don't think there's any way in the world that the Vancouver Canucks can fox them into losing their control 2 nights in a row. Tonight has to be a Buffalo win.
I'm Dave Pratt, and I look to the Vancouver Canucks to win tonight. 2 tired teams performing, not much hitting as we saw last night, but a tough hockey game.
With the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers eliminated from further Stanley Cup playoff action, the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks are the only 2 Canadian teams left in the hunt for the Stanley Cup. The Montreal Canadiens were expected to have an easy time in the opening round. The Vancouver Canucks were expected to have a tough and possibly short series. Well, we're here in Game 4. It can either end tonight or go to a 5th game in Buffalo on Monday night. Stanley Cup playoff coverage will return in just a moment.
Vancouver's Pacific Coliseum as the fans file in to watch Game 4 of the series. I'm Jim Robson with the Hockey Night in Canada crew. The vendors at work, and there's the Pacific Coliseum. It will not be full tonight, but it's already had a bit of an incident as a spectator was just removed from back at the Buffalo bench for a verbal attack on Scotty Bowman, who's the center of attention after an unfortunate incident involving Tiger Williams, who's been suspended, as you heard in our opening, and is not in the Vancouver lineup tonight.
Jim, some clown went down wearing a green sweater and started berating the coach of the Buffalo team, Scotty, who you see there alongside his assistant, Jim Roberts, but the ushers got him out of here very quickly.
The officials have lined up at center ice. The starters on the blue line. Here's Richard Loney to sing "O Canada."
And
the officials working for tonight's hockey game. Let's find out who they are.
I'm Ron Hogarth, referee for tonight's game, and I'm from Barrie, Ontario.
I'm Swede Knox. I'm linesman for tonight's game, and I'm from Edmonton, Alberta.
Kevin Collins from Springfield, Massachusetts, and I'm linesman for tonight's game.
There's Bob Sauvé in goal for Buffalo. Shared the Vezina Trophy with Don Edwards. Sauvé's excellent year, 2.36 average on the season. And there's Gary Bromley, a former Buffalo Sabre. His average, you see, posted is 4 this series. And he's getting the work with Glenn Hanlon, who started last night out of the lineup with a bad shoulder. Will not be available for any more playoff action. Bromley's appeared in all the games of the series now. Playing away in the Buffalo zone. That's Richie Dunn from behind the net. Off the boards to Craig Ramsey. The Sabres in their road blue uniforms with gold and white. The Canucks in the home yellow with red and black as Craig Ramsey moves in on Mano. Craig Ramsey going for the front of the net. From behind the goal, centered the puck. Perreault just failed to pick it up. Perreault has the puck again. Checked by Smith. Smeel steered the puck out. Schoenfeld with the puck. This fellow defenseman, number 3, is Richie Dunn. Up front, the Sabres have Perreault, Craig Ramsey, and Rick Sealing. This is Schoenfeld putting the puck in, racing it after it. Bromley comes out of the net, plays the puck around to the boards. Craig Ramsey kept it in as he's hit by Smeel. And Smeel knocked Ramsey's helmet off. And the play goes on as the puck flies back in Buffalo territory. The Canucks started with Brodin, Smeel, and Fraser, and they make a line change on the fly, although Brodin is still out there. This is Tony McKechnie of Buffalo with the puck. Joined by Derek Smith. Danny Gare, the third man on the line. Loose puck at center. Mike Ramsey after. Poked away by Hughes. Tripped up by Ramsey. Crowd yelling for a penalty. Hogarth obviously did not see it. McCarthy to Hughes on the Vancouver defense. The pass eludes Rota. Icing called on Vancouver.
Tremendous amount of feeling in this game, as you can see, if anybody looks sideways at anybody else. And both teams feel it. Both teams hope that it won't affect them too much. But all of the happenings, most of them taking place really with involving that man, Scotty Bowman, and a great deal of it after the game when Scotty expressed a great many opinions. And there's a lot of feeling, and of course then this afternoon the Vancouver Canucks found out that they had lost Tiger Williams with the suspension. Scotty has been very calm since arriving here at the building, and Jim talked to him for a long time this afternoon, but he figures it was his word against Williams, and his word was approved.
Williams a 1-game suspension out of the lineup. Buffalo in possession of the puck. Larry Playfair's number 27. The other defenseman for Buffalo, rookie Mike Ramsey, number 23. This is Jerry Butler shooting right on, and Sauvé. Here's the shot by Hughes. Sauvé stopped that. Hughes goes to the puck again. His pass is blocked. Gare coming out. Now to McKechnie. 3 Sabres to center. Gare is going to the front of the net. McKechnie shot stopped by Bromley, who covers up the puck. Then Hughes hits McKechnie a little late. And the sticks come up again, and it's a lot of feeling early in the hockey game. Now Gare and McCarthy are squaring off, and Rota looks pretty hot down there. Howie?
This is shaping up that it could be just a continuation of what went on in the third period last night. And if that's so, from the toughness point of view, it's not going to be too good. But the other plus part is Gary Bromley was just sensational when he came into the game to start the second period. After Glenn Hanlon was hurt, he held the Canucks in the game until they got 2 quickies on him late in the period, third period.
From the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, this is Stanley Cup 80.
There is Darcy Rota in for slashing. He's from British Columbia, the Caribou area, and there from the Kootenays, Nelson is the team captain, Danny Gare of Buffalo. He's also in. They both got 2 minutes.
Slashing minors to Gare and Rota at 1:49 of this scoreless first period. Buffalo leads the series 2-1 after winning 2-1 and 6-0 in Buffalo. Last night, Vancouver won 5-4 here. Play in the Canuck zone as the teams are 5 aside. Puck is dumped out to center by Bob Mano. The Sabres now controlling their own zone as Schoenfeld is tied up on the boards by Mano. Andre Savard in the Buffalo lineup for the first time in the series is out there, number 12. Number 6 is Schoenfeld as the puck is controlled by John Van Boxmeer. Chased by Mano back of the net. Picked up by Brassard now as the pass slides off of Schoenfeld's stick at center. This is Ole Brassard with the puck to Harold Smith, jumping it in. Mano going into forecheck. Sauvé stops the puck back of the net. Mano ran over him, back of the goal. Puck left loose in the corner. Schoenfeld puts it on the boards, and Savard clears it to the line, and it's brought out now by Rick Sealing, one-on-one on Snep. The shot hits Snep. Sealing recovered the puck. Still in the Vancouver zone, so Don Luce centering it. Oh, it went off of Lindgren's skate, and there was Schoenfeld unchecked in front of the Vancouver goal. Lars Lindgren goes to the puck. Missed the first 2 games of the series with a bad wrist, but is in the lineup for these 2 in Vancouver. Bob Mano with the puck. No score in the game. Dumping it in as the teams make a change. Dunn from behind the net with the puck. Over to Van Buxmeer, formerly with Montreal and Colorado. Ran into Hughes and went down. Berdine gets the puck. 3.5 minutes gone, no score. A lot of feeling early in the game. Kevin McCarthy rushing with the puck to Stan Smeal. He shoots. Good stop by Sauvé on Smeal as the puck is held to stop the play.
Well, that's one thing the Vancouver Canucks have to get is, I think, a little bit of distraction. That was, I'm sure, engineered by Coach Harry Neal last night, another Bowman affair. But outside of that, Stan Smeal hasn't been the effective, the hard-working, the goal-scoring, the point-getting forward that he has been for Vancouver all year long. They need some offensive effort from him tonight.
Gradine, and there's Don Luce, an expert face-off man against Gradine, and Luce wins the draw. 12 seconds left in the penalties to Darcy Rhoda and Danny Gare, the 2 number 18s in the penalty box. Craig Ramsey bumped it center by McCarthy as they stood up to the collision. Hughes plays the puck out of his own zone, back across to Thomas Gradine, and there comes Gare and Rhoda back on the ice as Bill Height passes to Gare, coming in on Hughes. Gare cutting to the net. Shot on the short side, stopped by Brownlee. Puck on the inboards. Gare centers it. Craig Ramsey shot is blocked. Puck came loose. Don Luce threw it in front. It slides to the boards. Hughes goes to it there. That's Fraser ahead of him taking the pass. Kurt Fraser lost the rolling puck. Penalty indicated for a slash behind the play. A Buffalo penalty will be called by Ron Hogarth in the heat of the early action. It's still a scoreless hockey game. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Vancouver.
Harris sits in the penalty box, wondering about it all, and the Canucks have a man advantage.
Luce slash Thomas Gradine. The time of the penalty is 4:15 of this scoreless first period. Mano back for the puck. Vancouver with a man advantage. Have had a very weak power play all season. Ended the year 20th in the NHL in percentage. In this series, 1 power play goal in 11 opportunities. Height breaks up the play. Now Gradine dumps it in. Savard back to get the puck. His first action of the series. Plays it on the board. Smeal intercepts. Centers it. Back to the point. Mano shoots. Missed the net. Stan Smeal with the puck. To Ivan Boldyrev. To the point to Lars Lindgren. To Boldyrev. Gradine's in front of the net. The pass across. Partially blocked by Savard. Smeal checked by Height. Mano barely kept it onside. Lindgren kept it onside. His shot is blocked. Boldyrev centering it. A shot stopped by Sauvé on Smeal. Mano tripped over Smeal going for the puck. Height scoops it off the boards and gets it out. Hectic action in front of Bob Sauvé, who shut out the Canucks in the second game of the series, 6-0. Gradine starting out, 52 seconds left of the Buffalo penalty to Luce. Sabres with excellent penalty killing all season long. Second best in the league in percentages. And of course, Luce and Ramsey do most of it, and it's Don Luce serving a penalty right now. But Craig Ramsey is out there. Mano standing behind the goal with the puck. Van Boxmeer up front with Craig Ramsey killing the penalty. Rhoda tips the puck in. That's Brent Ashton going after it. Behind the net, the pass misses Lupul. Craig Ramsey cleared the puck down the ice. 16 seconds left in the penalty to Luce. Kevin McCarthy back for the puck. McCarthy from Winnipeg, the former Philadelphia Flyer. To Brent Ashton. Ran over a Buffalo player as he ran into Mike Ramsey and knocked him down, but the puck went around on the boards and it scooped down the ice. And the Sabres are back at full strength as you saw Luce come out of the penalty box. No score. 6:20 played in the first period. Darcy Rhoda with the puck. Dumping it in. Mike Ramsey back after it. Overskates it. Lupul lost the puck. Out comes Rick Martin. Joining him is Perreault. Perreault takes the pass. Shoots. Missed the far corner with a hard shot. 2 explosive players. Rick Martin and Gilbert Perreault on that rush. Hughes back of the net, took a check from Martin. Puck went around on the boards to Ashton. Failed to get it out. Ramsey shot, caught and held by Bromley.
There's a fellow who's going to have an awful lot of responsibility tonight.
This is Stanley Cup 80 from Vancouver. Face off in Vancouver territory. Perreault and Boldarev. And you heard the linesman yell, get that stick down. At least somebody yelled it. And you'll see a lot of cheating on the face-off. Boldarev is waved out. So we'll see how Brassard, I think it was the referee Hogarth who yelled. You heard it. Rick Martin shot, hit a leg, bounces wide. Mano plays it around on the boards. Playfair goes to the puck. Put it behind the Vancouver goal. Perreault centering it. Steered away by Jerry Butler. Ivan Boldarev getting the puck. Rink wide for Butler. Coming out on the right wing. Overskates the puck. Rick Martin scoops it back in for Buffalo. Smith chasing it to the corner. Around to Mano. Martin goes in to check him. Puck came around on the boards. Butler failed to get it out. Young Mike Ramsey kept it in, and he's been a very impressive young defenseman for the Sabres. Rick Martin has the puck again. Bumped by Butler along the boards. From the point, Ramsey's shot is handled by Bromley. Mano to Brassard. To Boldarev. Butler's on right wing, taking the pass. Takes the shot, and Sauvé standing up all the way, saw it and easily stopped it. Brassard for Boldarev, intercepted, cleared to center ice. Jerry Butler dumping it back in as he's bumped by Rick Martin, and the sticks come up away from the play. No score, nearing the 8-minute mark, first period. Now Rick Dudley with the puck, dumping it in the Vancouver zone. Sneal backboard, banks it off the boards to Lindgren. Lindgren from behind his own goal, put it off the boards to center. That's Van Boxmeer to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld rushing with the puck, dumping it in. Gare racing in after it against Brassard. Gare tried to center it and went to the corner. Lindgren after it there. Derek Smith goes in to check him. McKechnie comes out with the puck. To Gare. His shot. Oh, it hit Bromley's foot. He didn't see it. It hit his skate. Gare almost broke the scoreless tie. Gradine just failed to get loose at center as Gare gets the puck. Gradine got his stick on it, puts it in the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld turning with the puck. Forecheck by Kurt Fraser, who took him to the end boards. This is Smeal coming in on goal. Right in, he shoots. Sauvé made a good save. He held his ground on the short side, and Smeal had no place to put the puck. 11-12 left in the first period, no score. Puck in the Vancouver zone. Lindgren gets back to it, hands it away. Gare shoots. Bromley stopped it, covered up the puck. Good action. The score, Vancouver nothing, Buffalo nothing. This is Stanley Cup 80. There's Chris Othelsson of the Vancouver Canucks, who's seen limited action the last couple of games because of a badly bruised hip suffered in Game 2. But he's out there to face off against Savard. Team's at full strength. He's only had 3 minor penalties. No scores yet as we near the midway mark of the first period. Savard lost control of the puck, and the play is called offside as he took in Lupul. And there's some extra activity between Savard and Lupul as they all push in at every opportunity.
I don't think much will happen. Ottliffson did play a lot more last night than anybody had expected him to. And though the Canucks were beaten in the face-off department overall 56-43 by Buffalo, Chris did his best. He got 10 of 18 face-offs he took. Perreault led Buffalo with 6 of 17, but Ottliffson did his job, even though Buffalo got more of the face-offs, particularly in the Vancouver end of the building.
And Howie, that's such a key part of the game.
It certainly is, and as long as you win them and get control or get that puck and get it out of your zone, you're not going to get hurt too much.
And here we see Savard waved away as Ottliffson now faces off against Perreault, and the Sabres wind up in possession. Schoenfeld in his own zone with the puck. Rink wide of Van Boxmeer. Ahead for Savard, tipping it in the Canuck zone. McCarthy back to get the puck. In goes Perreault to tie him up back of the Vancouver goal. The puck went around to John Hughes, to Gary Lupul, who lost it in his own zone. Got it back, failed to get it out. Now here's Rick Martin trying a shot. He's knocked down from behind by Ashton. Perreault centering the puck. It went in behind the goal off of Bromley's stick. This is John Hughes with the puck. Putting it high, didn't get it out. It was knocked out of the air with a high stick, so that'll stop the play.
Well, it's obvious what Scotty Bowman's doing. He's putting his best on. Perreault is being double-shifted. Martin double-shifted. That kid Mike Ramsey on defense double-shifted. they're getting the puck into the Vancouver Canucks zone, and there's a mastermind, Scotty Bowman, contemplating what's going to happen, and he's going after that first goal by getting the puck in the Canuck zone, and after that, sending 3-man in and pinching. The defense are moving in and pinching, and that's the key. They want that first goal, and they're going to get it if they keep applying the pressure.
Just saw why the play was stopped as the puck was hit with a stick above the shoulder, and it went to a Buffalo player. Bob Mano leaves the puck back of the net, now starts out with it. Mano from Niagara Falls on the left boards to Rhoda. It's center to Butler, moving into the Buffalo zone, but Rhoda couldn't handle the pass as he was checked by Gare. Ivan Bolderev after the puck, put it high, just missed the referee. This is Rhoda from behind the net, centering it. Bob Mano winding up, he shoots, hit the post. Bob Mano hit the goalpost. And Asove, I don't think, saw the shot in the traffic. This is Derek Smith moving in on Smith. Smith with a lot of moves, coming in on goal. Try to shovel it in front. Gare checked by Bolderev. The puck goes to Rhoda. Darcy Rhoda, formerly with Chicago and Atlanta, got it to Jerry Butler, who's hit hard by Mike Ramsey, who's going to get a penalty for charging. Mike Ramsey will get the penalty. Stanley Cup 80 will continue in a moment.
Mike Ramsey here almost puts Butler right into the Buffalo bench and gets called for charging, and one is not surprised by that, you could say.
I'm glad the stick didn't come up and hit anybody at the bench, Howie.
We've had enough of that. I don't hear anybody singing happy birthday to the referee either.
No, that's right. Ron Hogarth is 32 years old today, and he's handling a game with a rather explosive atmosphere, but handling it very tightly and at this stage in full control. 9:20 left in the first period, no score. Vancouver have the man advantage for the second time in the period, and they've only had one power play goal in the series, and that was last night in their 5-4 victory. Bolderev with the puck. This is Ole Brasso bringing it in on the defense. Shot the puck in. Schoenfeld shoots it out. Brasso chasing it, shouted by Don Luce. Those two expert penalty killers for the Sabres in action out there. Number 10, Craig Ramsey. Number 20, Don Luce. Darcy Rhoda moving in on goal, pushed off stride. Rod react to every check. The puck bounces off Rhoda to Schoenfeld. Now this is Craig Ramsey with Luce. They're 2-on-2, and they can do things while shorthanded. They're a threat to score. Ramsey poke checked at the last minute. Bill Hite kept the puck in. Gary Bromley leaves it for Bob Mano. 8:30 left, first period, no score. Buffalo leads the series 2-1. Vancouver battling to survive and prolong it to a 5th game Monday. Mano with the puck. Setting it up. Back to Brassard. To the right point to Stan Smeal. Shoots the puck that's blocked. Lupul couldn't pick up control of the puck. Schoenfeld from behind the net drives it off the boards and down the ice. There's 40 seconds left in the penalty to Mike Ramsey for charging at 10:35. Brassard to McCarthy to Gradine coming in on Schoenfeld, who bumped him. Sauvé put the puck off the board. It came to the line, not out. Brassard kept it in, but it goes right back to Rick Sealing, who scoops it up into the crowd. Okay, you got the puck.
Certainly the Vancouver Canucks have to get a goal and have to get it early, because I don't think they can continue to count on Bromley to the extent that they have. It's been quite some time since I've seen the Vancouver Canucks skate as well as they're skating tonight. It's the first time that they look like that they belong in a skating form in the same ice as the Buffalo Sabres.
That's the guy that has to do the skating for them. That's Thomas Gradin. And he set up a beauty last night for his fellow Swede, Brasser.
There's Bob Sauvé, who looked so cool and solid in the nets. He was a first-round draft choice the same year that his goaltending teammate Don Edwards was a fifth-round draft choice. Two excellent young goaltenders that got the Vezina Trophy. Of course, that is a team trophy, really, and the Sabres won it convincingly. Lupul at center with the puck with only 5 seconds left in the power play. Now to Brett Aston. His shot just hit the outside of the post. Sauvé got a piece of it, then it hit the outside of the goalpost. Mike Ramsey's out of the penalty box. Buffalo back in full strength. From behind the net, Ashton fell, reaching for the puck. Big Larry Playfair. Now to Gilbert Perreault. To Rick Martin. Neatly checked by Odlinson, couldn't get loose. Lupul comes up with the puck. Lupo coming in. Wrist shot. Sove blocked it with his pad. Arvidsson shoots. Oh, it went high. As Sove was knocked down in front. The play is stopped. There's going to be penalties to Perot and Arvidsson, I believe. Off in the corner. It looks like they got involved in little fencing. And I think they'll both go to the penalty box. Live from the Pacific Coliseum, the Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 4.
Arvidsson sitting there in the penalty box, and Perot were away from the play, actually. That was taking place right in front of the net where Sove was dumped. But the referee spotted them for high sticking, so they're 5-a-side again.
13:06, the time of the penalties to Perot and Arvidsson. So that means now we have just under 7 minutes left in the first period. There's no score. The teams are 5-a-side. Rick Sealing ran into a check from Hughes. The puck came loose to Don Luce. His pass went off the skate, brought in offside, as everyone in the building helped the linesman make the call. And the Pacific Coliseum seats 15,620, but it's not full tonight.
I asked Jim Roberts, the assistant coach of the Sabres before the game, if they'd approach it any differently tonight.
We come into last night's game thinking we'd win it. We're coming in tonight thinking we're going to win this one. We just got to go out there, play our game of hockey, and not get emotionally involved with what happens outside the game, and try to come off the ice at the end of the game with a win.
Jimmy Roberts has been through a lot of playoff activity, of course, over 100 games in Stanley Cup play as a player, and now part of the Buffalo coaching staff with Scotty Bowman and Roger Nielsen. Roberts at the bench wearing that headset as Roger Nielsen talks to him from the press box upstairs. Sabres starting out of their own zone. Richie Dunn back to Bill Height. Now Rick Sealing from Elmira, Ontario, running in to John Hughes. Here's a quick shot that went wide as Height missed the target. This is Hughes with the puck by himself into the Buffalo zone. Taken to the side by Dunn. Dunn winds up with the puck. Neal moves in to check in. Height in possession now. Neal went at him, bumped him near the corner, and took him to the ice. No score in the game. Danny Gare in on Snett. Gare coming in on goal. Snett stayed with him and broke up the play effectively. Took him to the boards. And that was a dangerous move by Gare, who had 56 goals in the regular season. Here's another chance for the Sabres as Snett has his hands full along the boards. Checking Van Buckner. Here's a shot by Schoenfeld. Blocked. Oh, the puck rolled off the leg right in front. Going to be penalties in front of the net. Sneps and Gare were involved. I think Sneps is going to get the penalty as you look at Big Harold. And he was working over Gare in front of the net, and Sneps will get the penalty.
They had a pretty good joust earlier on, and then right in front of the net where that Gare does its great work, Sneps gets called by the referee who was standing right beside him. So there are 18 seconds left in the other penalties. Sneps has gone in for 18 seconds. There will be 5 men against 4, and then Buffalo will have the man advantage. So you can bet that it is 18 seconds at least when he comes off the penalty bench. Perot, who's been flying in the early part of this period, will be out there against that fellow Bromley, who really has all the pressure. His backup is a youngster who just turned 21 years of age, Ken Ellicott. Never played in the National Hockey League. In, of course, because Glenn Hanlon was injured last night. He's out of it. And just to repeat, in case you joined us late, Tiger Williams is not playing for Vancouver. He was suspended earlier today by the National Hockey League for an incident last night in which he allegedly swung his stick at that man, Scotty Bowman. No one seems to have really seen the incident.
Face-off in Vancouver territory. Derek Smith got the draw. This is John Van Boxmeer's shot. Deflected. Bromley stops it. Rick Martin controlling the puck on the boards. Checked by Ole Brasser. Battle for the puck at the side of the net, and Lindgren clears it down the ice. Odlinson and Perot come out of the penalty box. Now Buffalo with a man advantage, 6 against 5 with Sneps serving a slashing penalty, assessed at 14:48. There's no score in the game. 4:44 left in the first period. Sabres with a very potent power play. Bouncing puck off the glass. Good save. They score on the rebound. Rick Martin backhands the rebound into the net. There's the all-important first goal.
And Jimmy, you and I were talking to Rick Martin down there before the game, and he's been around for quite a while, a very experienced, high-scoring player, #1 draft choice for this club. way, way back in '71, and he was really fired up.
Well, it had to be a very, very lucky goal because it was going around the boards, I would say close to 70 or 80 miles an hour, and it hit one of the posts that holds up the glass, and it came out right the side that it went in. That if you shot the puck 1,000 times, would never happen again.
There are the assists on the goal. Gare and Van Boxmeer assisting. 15:24 the time of the power play goal by Martin. And it's 1-0 Buffalo. There's a trip by Rhoda as he tripped up Mike Ramsey. Now the Sabres will get their goaltender Sauvé to the bench. They have 6 attackers on the ice. Butler into check. Sauvé has gone to the bench for a 6th attacker. A delayed penalty coming up to Rhoda of Vancouver. Sabres to the attack. Mike Ramsey shoots it in, but Sealing was offside and the play is stopped.
Well, they did get the 6th attacker out there, but they never really got going with it.
This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver.
Bad penalty to take in that end of the building, Howie.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Ted. Certainly the Canucks just can't afford that type of penalty or the type of penalty that Harold Snips took. The Buffalo Sabres have a very potent and a very talented power play, and if you give them half a foot, they're going to take a yard.
Up front, they've got 6 Schoenfeld, number 18 Gare, number 7 Martin, and on the points right now in their own zone. Perreault with the puck, and the left point, number 3, Richie Dunn. Now he brings out the puck. Sabres with a man advantage. Martin ran into a check. It was an offside play. He got his stick up with Bob Mano and looked for a little extra action that didn't come. Martin, of course, having a fine series, now has 4 goals in the series. And in Stanley Cup play, he now has 22 goals in 52 games.
Martin went back to Dunn and said, please, no more passes like that. That's the type of pass. look at Martin laughing.
That's a lookout pass.
Yeah.
Here comes lookout. Mano chasing the puck. Sneps and Gare put together. The puck went loose as Mano missed it. Sneps took a check on the boards. Schoenfeld to the point. Dunn couldn't keep it onside. He took his head up at the last minute and the puck went off his stick. 1:45 left in the penalty to Rhoda. Buffalo's leading 1-0 on Martin's power play goal. Mano breaks up the play at center and shoots the puck down the ice. Not dressed for the Sabres tonight are Rob McClanahan and Robert Mongrain, who played last night. As Lindy Ruff and Andre Savard get into the lineup tonight. In comes Perreault. Trip. Mano will get a penalty. Bob Mano for tripping Gilbert Perreault, and Vancouver will be 2 men short for a minute and 2 seconds.
He's got to be driving poor Harry Neal absolutely crazy. Both his own players, I would imagine, and the referee at this stage of the game. But you just can't do that against Buffalo. Bob Mano is now going in for this. Trip on Perreault. Well, he scooped Perreault's left foot out right from underneath him, Howie.
I don't know how he had the nerve to complain. Not to me, what did I do?
The crowd is chanting, "We want a ref," but everybody in the country saw a trip by Mano. And there's Mano in the penalty box with Rhoda. So now the Sabres have a 2-man advantage as Gilbert Perreault is ready to go to work.
Well, with Perreault just flying down the center, your defense can't get caught standing in the blue line. Certainly they have to be backing up, because if they don't back up, he'll just either cause you to take a penalty or go around you like a hoop around a barrel.
Perreault has got great playoff statistics as well as league statistics. He's had a point a game in 52 playoff games over the years. Perreault at the point with the puck. To Gare. Martin's in front of the net. The pass went to Perreault. Moving in. Takes a shot. Bromley covering it up. And Gare was wrapped by McCarthy, and Gare glares at him there. Now they have a little verbal exchange over the shoulder of the linesman, Kevin Collins.
Well, if the Canucks get out of this, certainly it's going to be Bromley's doing, and he deserves a better fate than being down 1-0. He was just terribly exciting in his 2 periods that he played last night, and so far this evening he's played very, very well. I just wish he'd stand up a little more so he could get to that rebound a little quicker with his feet instead of trying to reach it when he's on his knees with his hands.
That's Derek Smith ready for this face-off in Vancouver territory. 49 seconds left in Rhoda's penalty. Bromley's doing a little stalling now to get a little break here. equipment repairs, he's calling it. A referee often gives the goaltender a little break in this kind of situation.
Well, now Odlisson has gone over to get something. I don't know what that was from the bench, and the referee calls him back into play. Odlisson will take this crucial face-off against Smith, and Smith has been very good on face-offs.
Fine young hockey player, Derek Smith, who was a 10th round draft choice in 1974. Now he's waved out, and Perreault goes into face-off. Odlisson won the draw to Smith. He got the puck down the ice. Big face-off. Odlisson winning the draw. The score is 1-0 for Buffalo. There's 2:40 left in the first period. Sabres coming out, still have a two-man advantage for 35 seconds. McCarthy goes to the puck. Perreault knocked it out of the air with that quick stick. Perreault with the puck. Moving it on Steps. Drops it to Derek Smith. Over to Richie Dunn. Across the Gary. Shoots. Bromley stopped it. McCarthy took off the rebound. Got the puck out. 12 seconds left in Rota's penalty. Of course, Mano still in effect for another minute and 10. Smith over the Vancouver line. Now to Perreault. Watched by Odlisson and Snep. Centering the puck, it went across in front. Vancouver one-man short now. Rota's on the ice. Gare with the puck. Coming in front. Bromley covered up the puck as Gare made one move too many there after some great moves coming out of the corner.
I think he spied Perreault just off the side of the net and tried to put it to him on his backhand, and as you said, he stick-handled once too often and lost the puck. Well, I'm just a little bit more heartened with Bromley and Harold Snips. I think we should take a look at that number 27, Harold Snips for the Vancouver Canucks. When he plays well, the Canucks usually win. He has a problem, though. He lacks a little consistency. However, he was great in Game 1 in Buffalo and just super here last night.
Big Harold Snips from Edmonton, a 4th-round draft choice. There he is. Canucks getting possession off another face-off in their own zone. Again, get the puck out. This could be a crucial stage early in the game, at least, with Vancouver trailing 1-0 and 2 men short through a spell. Now still a man down for 34 seconds. The time left in Mano's penalty. We're now late in the first period as Rick Dudley got to the Vancouver line, lost the puck. Then Boxmeer put it in. Snips going to the puck. Puts it around on the boards for Butler. He's tied up, couldn't get the puck. Van Boxmeer across at the line for Schoenfeld, but it bounces out. Schoenfeld to Craig Ramsey. Dumping it in. Snips knocks it down. Clears it out. 5 seconds left in the penalty to Mano. And the crowd here respond to Vancouver's penalty killing. A lot of the fans standing in their ovation. 55 seconds left in the period. Van Boxmeer dumping it in. Butler goes in after it, bumping near the corner with Rick Sealing. Puck is steered out to center ice. Buffalo's dominated the play, although the shots are only 11-7 in Buffalo's favor. Hughes on the boards for Kirk Fraser, number 24, to Gradine. Try to get it to Lindgren, but the play was broken up. John Hughes back for the puck, chased by McKechnie, who anticipates a pass, but Hughes went behind the net. Got the puck out to center ice. 24 seconds left in the period. Bromley taps it aside for Hughes, is on defense with Lindgren. Hughes putting it off the boards to Fraser, to Gradine, to Smeal, coming in with Gradine. Smeal shot, hit a leg. Oh, that hurts. Richie Dunn took it on the leg. Hughes couldn't reach it to keep it onside. Dunn is limping to the Buffalo bench. As Smeal hard, there's Dunn. Took a hard shot on the ankle from Smeal's shot. The buzzer goes and the first period is over. A good period of action as Bob Sauvé comes off the ice after shutting out Vancouver in the period. He faced 7 shots. Buffalo had 11 on Gary Bromley. One of them a goal by Rick Martin on a power play as the Canucks go to the dressing room. And there's Danny Gare, Don Luce. Bob Sauvé as the Sabres head to their dressing room. 23 is young Mike Ramsey. There's Craig Ramsey, no relation. They spell their names differently. Quite a period. The score at the end of the first period, Buffalo 1, Vancouver 0.
You've got your sunrise, you caught a prize, you're making your Johnson. Party nights, summer whites, your friends and your Johnson. Rooster tails, water trails, your kids and your Johnson. Saturday nights, distant lights, you, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
After one period of play here in Vancouver, the Canucks are trailing the Buffalo Sabres 1-0 in Game 4, the best-of-5 elimination round. Well, with me now, I've got Babe Pratt and Howie Meeker, two gentlemen who have seen a lot of hockey in their time. And gentlemen, I'd like to open this debate by going back to the comments that you made at the top of the game. Howie, you first. You said that Buffalo would win this game and the series. Why?
Well, first of all, if you own Buffalo and I own Vancouver, would you trade teams with me, Babe?
I wouldn't, no.
Okay, there
no,
you
not
go.
with the talent, no.
Well, that's the other thing. Secondly, I'm not a confirmed Bromley believer. I have seen him play sensational goal, but he is not consistent. I don't think he can put two games back-to-back. Delightful, I am proven wrong. He had a super first period. If he keeps that up, I think maybe Babe could be right with his prediction.
Well, my prediction was how he was based on, I've never seen a team so demeaned and belittled that the fans left the building when Atlanta beat them something like 9-3, and then the Canucks, people were just leaving the place, you know, at the end of the second period. And then they go right into Atlanta and play Monday night. Well, they went into Colorado and tied, and doubleheader, Atlanta was waiting for them, and they go right into Atlanta and whip them 5-2. And I felt that the Canucks showed an awful lot of character there. And now with Tiger out and Hanlon out, I thought they would come right back. And this game isn't over. It's only 1-0, you know. And I just thought that, doggone it, this team can still show an awful lot of character by coming up with a win tonight. And this is what I based my thoughts on. When their backs were against the wall, it seemed when everybody was down on the Canucks, they come up with something big. And this is the way I felt about this club, and I felt this way about them all year. It just seems that when they're facing, I don't know what that word is, Steve would know, but nevertheless...
Face the devil.
But tonight they're facing elimination. So I just...
the devil, Babe.
There's no tomorrow. You know, and this is probably what Harry Neal's telling them in there now. You know, that there's no tomorrow. Let's get to it, guys. And you cannot do it in the penalty box. Howie, Buffalo have an awesome power play, and the Canucks don't have any power play to speak of, and yet they killed off 2 penalties in that period, and if they continue to kill off penalties and are able to peck away at them, get a goal here, maybe a goal there, they could still come out with a victory.
Howie, they haven't got Tiger Williams in the lineup. How much is that going to hurt the Vancouver Canucks?
Not a bit. I just think he's played terrible hockey. He's done more for them off the ice and in the dressing room than he has in the ice. I have seen him play excellent hockey in Toronto for the skills that the youngster has. He's excellent in his own end. He forechecks. He's a tough little guy. I just don't think... I haven't seen him play one good shift out here this year. I could be wrong. Babe said I should have picked him as a star last night because he helped them in the last 2 minutes.
Well, I'll
kill
tell
a penalty.
you, Howie, I feel about him is he's another one of those guys that in the dressing room, he's around there building them up and giving them like a cheerleader.
That's where he is tonight. That's where he's doing his best job.
No, and then last night, he did a terrific job, I thought, in the last period there. As you mentioned, killing off that penalty, and when they were down with 2 men off, you know, and he came through, and I'll tell you, he is not the finesse type that you would like. Like, you start comparing a Tiger Williams with Martin and the Perreaults. You know, those guys are superstars. This guy is just an ordinary, good, sound hockey player, and he doesn't really have to take an awful lot of those penalties that he takes. But by and large, any guy that's called on to do what and he comes up with 30 goals in the season, that's a bonus for a guy on the second line or third line, although we've been playing him on the first line, and I don't think he is the type of guy that should ever be on any first line of any hockey club.
Babe, get us into the highlights.
With you on that.
Get us into the highlights. I know you've got some highlights in that.
Yeah, well, we got a couple of highlights here of Stan Schmiel. But as I say, it's that guy that goes in first. Now, Stan has a real chance of coming out here. Shanefield had just given up the puck, and then he comes up with it again, gets it up to his forwards. Now, here's another nice play, Howie, at the other end, where Lindgren coughs it up. But he's being checked, and he coughs up the puck here. Lindgren will pick it up and pivot. And for some reason or other, yeah, he just gets checked here. Now Garrett gets the chance. Garrett goes walking in. That's a real good shot. Bromley comes up with a terrific save and stops the play.
He never usually or normally challenges a shooter like he did there, but if he will come out, stay on his feet, and make that first save, then go fishing for the rebound on his feet, He could.
This is what makes him a, this is what makes him a good goalie, Howie. When he challenges the guys, when he stands in that net, there's pucks dripped in off. You've got to blindfold yourself.
We've got another highlight, gentlemen.
Yeah, here's Rhoda making a nice play over here. Mano pulls around. Let's go, a terrific shot, and hits the post.
Can we freeze it there? Can we freeze it there? Just back it up a bit, fellas. Butler's the guy fast asleep here. Look at him in this slot, and number 16 goes in and picks it up. Young Danny Gare. Now, if Rhoda had, or if Butler had gone to the net or just moved, I'm quite sure that he might have been there picking up the puck and putting it in a wide open net.
Well, if Gare was at the other end, he'd have done that, and that's the difference between a good offensive right winger and a defensive right winger.
55 goals and 15.
Yeah, here's Van Boxmeer on the goal. Shoots it in. Gare comes up with it off the boards. And where is Martin? Same place he was last night, right in front of that net, ready to pick.
I got to fault Bromley on that if we haven't got enough time, because there's no way a shot from that angle should come out in front. It had to go in the corner.
Gentlemen, we just run out of time. I will tell you this, that the Vancouver Canucks are trailing the Buffalo Sabres 1-0 after one period of play. We'll return with the Stanley Cup playoffs in just a moment.
The only goal scored by Rick Martin is fourth of the series. The assists were to Gare and Van Boxmeer on a power play. As you look at Darcy Rhoda, and the number 18 on his helmet, there's the referee, Ron Hogarth, 32 years old today. Probably feel about 42 after working this tension-packed game tonight, but he's kept very tight control of things. Teams at full strength. Gary Bromley in goal for Vancouver, tipping the puck behind the net to Mano. Bob Sauvé in goal for Buffalo. And the Sabres have that 1-0 lead as Gare goes into check Mano. Mano gets loose along the boards. Gare keeps after him. McKegney digging out the rolling puck. Schneck goes to it back of the net, banks it around on the boards. Finally comes out. Butler hustling after it. Schoenfeld whacked at the puck. Intercepted. Boulder right in on goal. His shot hit Sauvé in the chest. It came high as Sauvé was heading out. Gare and Butler mix it up in front of the net. Schoenfeld is knocked down. Rhoda's in the middle of it. Hogarth's going to throw somebody at the penalty box.
A big Schoenfeld gets in there to try and even things off.
Gare and Rhoda had something going earlier, and they want to get it going again. The shot by Bolderev, I don't think Sauvé saw it. It hit him high. It seemed to shake him up a bit, but he stopped the puck.
Harold Schnepp did very quickly as the Vancouver policeman, as they like to call it in this game. Gare's gone to the penalty box.
He does an awful lot for this Buffalo team, and he'll scrap for them, too. From the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, this is Stanley Cup 80.
This all started as a result of a good try by Bolderev. Sauvé seemed to lose sight of the puck. And then the two BC boys, that one, Danny Gare, the captain of the Sabres, and number 18, Darcy Rhoda, who's also gone to the penalty box for Vancouver, get their second coincidental minors. Second time they've shaken it up.
As you hear the announcement on the penalties, roughing the call. At 38 seconds of the second period, and after every stoppage, there's a little extra there. There's Richie Dunn from Boston, Massachusetts. Signed as a free agent, has come along in the Buffalo defense. In the last minute of the first period, you saw him limp off when he took a hard shot by Stan Smeal, but obviously he's okay, back in action. Strong young defenseman. Sabres go with 6 defensemen. They all get ice time. They all get rid of that puck in a hurry, move it well. Played exceptional hockey this season. And man, you just saw the key part of it. Richie Dunn, he's a tough kid, too. That's Dunn with the puck. Moving in on Bob Mano. Craig Ramsey joins him, takes the pass. Ramsey couldn't control the puck. Bumped with Mano. The puck came loose. The loose, he's hooked by Bolderev. Puck came around to the board. Butler left early, didn't pick it up. Now Mano goes to the corner after the puck. Behind the net to Snep. Loose goes in to check him. Puck went loose from Mano. The score is 1-0 Buffalo. Early in the second period, the teams are 5 aside. Mano from behind the net, loose forechecking well. He's one of the best in the league at it. Now steps to Mano. Good skating young defenseman. Scored a spectacular goal last night. To Snep. Shooting it high, missed the target. With Mano going to the front of the net there, they wanted that shot on goal. Give Mano a chance at a rebound. There wasn't one. Richie Dunn turning away from Ivan Bolderev. Bill Height, steady defenseman from Radisson, Saskatchewan. Now Rick Sealing with the puck. Putting it in the Vancouver zone. John Hughes hustling to it, back of Bromley. 2 minutes gone, second period, it's 1-0 Buffalo. 34 seconds left with the penalties to Gare and Rhoda, who've had something going since the game started. Gradine along the boards, trying to dig out the puck. It's covered up in skates, and the play stops.
We asked Bob Mano before this game if he felt playoff pressure.
Well, you get the feel a little bit around here. Our backs are against the wall to win, but I don't think we have as much pressure on us as the teams that have finished way up in the standings above us.
Voice of Bob Mano.
Perreault and Gradine on the face-off. Sabres wind up in possession as Schoenfeld feeds it to Rick Sealing. Moving in on Kevin McCarthy. Perreault dangerously trailing the play, but the puck didn't get through to him. This is Gradine shooting it in. Easily handled by Sauvé. There's nothing much happen on that potential 3-on-2. Sauvé comes out of the net. Meal runs at him and spumps him. Puck came around on the boards. This is Perreault. He's got a lot of moves. Moving it on McCarthy. Took a shot. Easily handled by Bromley. McCarthy took Perreault to the inboard. They rough it up a bit. Puck intercepted by Hughes. Failed to get it to Rhoda, who just came out of the penalty box with Gare. Schoenfeld puts it off the boards. Hughes scoops it into Buffalo territory. Icing indicated. Schoenfeld gets to the puck. Icing called on Vancouver. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Vancouver. Face-off in Vancouver territory to Bromley's left. Number 19, Derek Smith against Vancouver's number 16, Ole Brassard, but Lupel moved offside. So did Ashton, the two rookies out there for Vancouver. Sabres win the draw. Playfair from the point, a wrist shot. Oh, just picked off the far side of the post. Puck is put back over the glass. Onside, says the linesman. Here's a chance for McKechnie. Bromley made the save, and a lot of people thought that play had gone offside, but Swede Knox is onside. Battle for the puck in the corner as it slides out to center ice. Buffalo's outshot Vancouver 12-9 so far in the game. Lead 1-0. This is Grant Ashton to Brassard. For Ashton. Oh, it's just wide as he was going to the front of the net. Battle back of the goal. Ashton getting the puck out of his feet. Now to Brassard. A backhander went wide. Ashton hustles to the puck again. Off the boards for Brassard. Slides it back behind the net for Ashton. Couldn't pick it up. Brassard in the corner. Bumped by Mike Ramsey. Lupel joins them. Puck left loose. Gare covering it up. He'll get a face-off.
Good pressure there by those young Vancouver Canucks, Howie. Ashton stirring things up in there along with little Lupel. He looks about 12 years old, this youngster from Powell River, British Columbia. But stirs things up, and Ashton probably had his best shift right there in this game.
Both these youngsters played extremely well last night, and it speaks for good things to happen to the Vancouver Canucks. Yes, next year they're still babes in arms, and little Gary Lupel, when he adds a half step to his speed going through center, is going to be not a good hockey player, but a very, very good hockey player.
Perreault and Bolderev on that face-off. The Sabres getting possession. Van Boxmeer from behind the net cleared it to center. The Vancouver defense, Mano has the puck. The other one is 27 Snep. Up front, Bolderev number 9 between Rhoda 18 and Butler 17. Van Boxmeer checked by Rhoda. Rhoda playing with a lot of enthusiasm tonight. And he was quite a verbal target of Scotty Bowman during the game last night from the bench, apparently. Another sidelight to the controversy surrounding these weekend games in Vancouver. Darcy Rhoda, 3-on-2 with Butler and Smith. Smith takes the pass, drops it to Rhoda. He shoots. Sauvé made a fine save. Smith in front. Sauvé stopped it again. He scores. Darcy Rhoda scores on a rebound. It's 1-all.
Well, you can almost feel that goal coming. The shift before, when the two kids put on tremendous pressure, I think they just shamed some of the older guys into saying, hey, look at those two little guys go. They're playing with enthusiasm. They're playing like, hey, they believe that they can win and we can win. And that's just what the next shift did. Went out, and Rhoda comes in, picks up the rebound there. There's the shot by Rhoda. Now watch Van Boxmeer stand around and not even try to pick up Rhoda. He plays the puck, and when you play the puck in front of your net in this game, the red light usually goes on.
Mulder and Smith get the assist on the goal. It's 4:42. It's 1-all. Smeal racing after the puck with Richie Dunn. Dunn takes a whack at it. It goes off Smeal into the crowd.
Very big goal for Vancouver, Howie, because one thing they didn't want to let Buffalo do again was get up a couple of goals on them. And that's a terrifically important goal coming this early in this second period, 1-1.
We can't say enough about the work of Harold Smith, both on defense and at that time on offense as well. He knew that Mulder was coming in on the far wing. He got the puck over to him and then hung tight to take a man out in front of the crease.
And that's the first goal Vancouver has scored on Bob Sauvé. 84 minutes and 42 seconds before they beat him. Kurt Fraser with the puck. Tied up by Richie Dunn. Green to Smeal. Try to get it to the point. It's blocked. Loose. Hit by Smeal. The puck went around in the corner to Craig Ramsey. Fraser moves to him. Didn't bump him very hard, but he did bump him. The puck is cleared to center ice. Hughes. To McCarthy, but they're offside. This is Stanley Cup 80 from Vancouver.
Ted Reynolds along with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson in the booth at the Pacific Coliseum, where it's Buffalo 1, Vancouver 1, 14:30 left, second period.
Don Luce winning a face-off, as he often does. The Sabres clearing the puck out, but it went over the glass, went out of play. At this time, I'd like to pass along a special hello to all hospital patients and shut-ins, those who can't get out to hockey games. Hope you're enjoying our Hockey Night in Canada telecast. And in that regard, I think we'll include a hello to Roger Doucette in Montreal and wish him a speedy recovery. Kevin McCarthy, who's been playing exceptional hockey, and he has a hairline fracture in his foot, suffered late in the regular season, may have to have a cast put on that foot after the season is over. And he hopes, of course, the season continues for some time. He's played very well. A hard hit by Smeal in the corner on Height, but the Sabres come out as Richie Dunn carries the puck. At the line for Craig Ramsey. Moving in, getting in close. Takes the shot. Brownlee stopped it. Rebound cleared away. There's been a penalty in front of the net. And whoever was hit in front is injured and down on the ice. It may be Craig Ramsey. We'll wait to make sure. There's a punch thrown by Smeal. And you see the tempers flaring. And there's a lot of feeling.
Smeal and Height had something going behind the play following it up, Jim. And then it was Gare, I think, and he's been in on everything that's happened, the captain of this Buffalo club tonight. The penalty was called as the Buffalo player went down in front of the Vancouver net.
Well, with the score, the Canucks won, the Sabres won. This is Stanley Cup 80.
Well, Craig Ramsey, number 10, is the player who's injured on the play. That's Smeal hauling him down there. That's Gare, the captain of the team, and right after that, Gare and Smeal slashed at each other, so there they are, Smeal in the penalty box for 2, and Danny Gare is back in again, and he spent a great deal of this game in the penalty box, all of the minors, mind you, but he's been very much involved.
Smeal getting a double minor and Gare a single minor.
The way Smeal stuck at the Ramsey there, you'd think during the summertime he's done some work on the farm. I'll tell you, he just put that stick under his arm and threw it up, load of hay up on the old hay wagon, just like it didn't weigh a pound. Strong youngster.
Face-off coming up in Vancouver territory. Gare getting a single minor. Buffalo's got 12 minutes in the game now. Vancouver has 16 with that double minor to Stan Smeal. Of course, at this stage, the teams are 5 aside. Smeal's penalties are for slashing and roughing. Gare for roughing. This is Perreault. Bromley stopped him. Perreault from behind the net, centering it. Oh, it was almost tipped in by Andre Savard. Number 12 for Buffalo, seeing limited ice time. First game in the series for him. The former Boston Bruin from Temiskaming, Quebec. This is Ole Brasser weaving back towards his own line. To Mano. To Lupo. He has a good shot. Didn't get a good shot away, though. It went high. Sauvé covers up the puck. 5 against 4.
Well, there's another penalty, and that evens things up. Looks like Jim Schoenfeld is getting the call here for hauling, although Van Boxmeer was in on it, but I think he called Schoenfeld. Could have called either one of them, I guess, really. That evens it up, although it's not quite even yet because Schmiel has got a double minor, but he's the only Canuck in the penalty box, so now there are 2 Buffaloes.
Lupo with his hustle had the puck. He's being challenged by 2 defensemen. He just shot it in and then took off with a rebound. And the hooking incident, just as it happened, I looked down at Scotty Bowman. He shook his head, put his hand over his forehead, and headed for the ice bucket. I would imagine he was wishing there was something better in that bucket tonight.
I tell you, Scotty leads the league in ice bucket, I'll tell you that. There's Ron Hogarth working hard to keep control of things here. Of course, Scotty Bowman is recognized, I think, as the best coach in the game, and his percentage is the finest of any coach who's a long record in the NHL. He's second in the NHL history in wins behind Dick Irvin, but he's gaining on that total, too. McCarthy couldn't keep it onside. Mano racing to get to the puck just ahead of Craig Ramsey. Mano chased by Ramsey. Mano rounded the boards to McCarthy. Now to Chris Odleson. Bolderev coming out with him. Tipped the puck in, goes after it. Slowed up, couldn't get to the puck. Craig Ramsey clears it out. The score is 1-all. We just passed the 7-minute mark of the second period. There's 44 seconds left in Gare's minor. Right now, the Canucks with an edge in manpower as Ivan Bolderev wheels into Sabre territory. There's Mano in the slot. Didn't get him the puck. McCarthy does. Mano to McCarthy to Bolderev. They're not getting shot. A shot blocked by Sauve, standing up well. Bolderev to McCarthy. A shot missed the net. Sauve controlling the puck, scoops it down the ice, and he looks so cool doing it. Goaltender to goaltender. Sauve scoops it down to Bromley. 8 seconds left in Gare's penalty. Kevin McCarthy turning with the puck. It's a 1-all tie. Vancouver battling for survival as you see Gare come back on the ice. Thomas Gradine coming in on goal. Passes to Mano. He shoots, it's blocked. Lindgren gets the puck. Going for the net. Backhander. Oh, missed the net. Mano at the left point. Over to Lindgren. Passes to Bolderev. Bolderev winding up, centering it. Oh, Mano going for the net, just missed it. Checked in by Lindgren. To Mano. Over for Gradine and went to the corner. Gradine, a move away from Heighton, stays with him and knocks him down. Craig Ramsey gets the puck, steers it ahead to Danny Gare. Gare coming in on Lindgren, one-on-one. Gare's shot deflects off Lindgren wide. Mano turning in his own zone. There's Schoenfeld coming on. So now it's Buffalo with the man advantage as the second minor to Schmiel is in effect. Lars Lindgren shooting. Good stop by Sauve, covering up the puck.
Well, that Lars Lindgren has added quite a bit to the Vancouver Canuck defense. He was injured, had a bad wrist in the first 2 games of this series. He came back and played exceptionally well last night, and he's much better tonight. He handles the puck well, skates with it, and lately has learned how to clean house in front of the net. The Swede is going to be a very, very good, solid defenseman.
Other games played in the playoffs tonight. Pittsburgh leading Boston by 1-0. It surprised Boston, you'll recall, in the first game of that series. And the New York Rangers, it is, the New York team, ahead of the Atlanta Flames. There's so many teams in New York City, I get confused, but the Islanders are out in Los Angeles.
Right, the Rangers with that 3-1 lead in that game, of course, lead the series 2-1. The Islanders play in Los Angeles later, and the Islanders have a 2-1 lead in that series. There will be a Boston-Pittsburgh game on Sunday night. There might be some hockey Monday night in a few cities. We don't know right now. The next round starts Wednesday. Harold Smith shoots, missed the net. Doug missed the puck. It bounces in front of the net as he was knocked down at the side of the goal by Odleson. Out come the Sabres. This is Perreault moving in on Smith. Rick Feeling trailing. Perreault going for the net. Controlling the puck in the corner. Buffalo with a man advantage. Sealing at the point for Perreault on the board. Put it to the end boards for Derek Smith. To Perreault. Parsons waiting in the slot. Sealing with the puck to Perreault. Back to Sealing. Left point to Dunn. A shot blocked in front. Bromley's got the puck.
Well, that Bromley was really mentally sharp while the Buffalo Sabres were passing the puck around, tic-tac-toeing it with pretty good speed. Bromley stayed on his feet, and despite the fact that he was being, you can see here, the holding in front of the net, his concentration was excellent. When the shot was finally made, he's on his feet and come up with the puck.
McCarthy was tying up Smith there right in front of the net. There's 29 seconds left in the second minor to Smeal.
Certainly, I don't think we can say enough about Kevin McCarthy, who's going off the ice. The fellow that's right there now, Harold Snips, as he goes. As they both go, so go the Vancouver Canuck hockey team, and they have played exceptionally well in this series with Buffalo.
I think the only rest old Schneps is getting is when he gets a penalty. He's on that ice almost all the time.
Face off in Canuck territory. The Sabres lead, and the Canucks and the Sabres are tied, rather, but the Sabres lead the series, of course, 2-1. This game is 1-1, and the puck was cleared out. Van Boxmeer. Nice pass through to Rick Martin. He's got the big shot. Didn't get a chance to get it away as Brosser knocked the puck down and got it out. Vancouver's penalty killing throughout the season was a disappointing 16th in the league, but it did come on late in the season to play well, and the Canucks had to go through the last few games with wins. Van Boxmeer shoots. Bromley stopped it. Puck loose at the side of the net. Smeal's back on the ice. In the Vancouver zone, Arnoldson goes to the puck, knocks it off the boards and down the ice. It'll be icing as Vancouver's back at full strength now. Van Boxmeer getting the puck. The icing call is made.
9 minutes, 52 seconds left now. Buffalo scored first in this game. Vancouver has tied it here in the second. Nothing like last night's game when Vancouver ran up a 5-1 lead and then hung on grimly. Had a couple of goals scored very late in the third period. Finally won at 5-4 to force this game here tonight.
Brett Ashton, 19 years old, from Saskatoon.
And has played very well.
And there's another fine young player who served 3 years in the minors before he gets a good chance to play with the Sabres, and he's playing exceptionally well on a big line with McKechnie and Gare. Shot by Mike Ramsey, went out the heel of the stick. McKechnie shoots. Bromley got a piece of that shot, and it was a labeled hard shot by McKechnie. This has been a very good line for Buffalo this year. 8 is McKechnie, 18 is Gare, 19 is Smith. In goes Ashton to Lupel. Lupel tripped up. Play goes on. Puck is played in by Brosser along the boards. Hughes goes to, or Logan going to the puck at center. Oh, a hard hit by Gare. He got an elbow into the face of Lupel, and the Canucks bench reacts. And Gare is doing everything out there tonight. He's the man in the center of the action for the Buffalo Sabres. Big Larry Playfair, and Lupel bumped into him and bounces to the ice. Dave Logan with the puck. Dumps it in Buffalo territory. Mike Ramsey chasing it. The young man from Minnesota. From behind the goal. He likes to rush with the puck. He might get a chance right here. Will he give it back to him? He's moving. So's Derek Smith. To Gare. Shot went wide. Burdine after that puck. Steered it ahead to Dave Logan. Got it to center. Hopped over Lupel's stick. Shot back in the Canuck zone. 8:43 left in the second period. It's a 1-1 tie, and it's a good one. Kurt Fraser in on Bill Height. Height breaks up the play, dumps the puck out. There's no icing. Back forward. Don Hughes. Tiger Williams not in the Canuck lineup. Suspended for a game for the incident involving Scotty Bowman at the bench early in last night's game. Dudley puts it in the corner for Luce. Went to the end boards. Craig Ramsey lost it. Dudley tied up by, or rather it was Luce tied up by Lars Lindgren. Here's a good pass in front of backhander, went off Bromley. Dudley from behind the net, tried to jam it in front. Went around to the board. Fraser digging it out. Played it back in the corner. Hughes ices it. A race for the puck. Dunn and Smeal. Oh, a good effort by both of them, and Dunn won the race.
Whew. I'll tell you something else. I'm quite surprised that Sobey didn't come in and steal that puck.
Stanley Cup 80 will continue in a moment.
Terrific pressure again around Bromley. Lost his balance a little bit on that one, but managed to kick it out, and there was no rebound.
7:54 left in the second period. The score is 1-all. Play in the Vancouver zone. McCarthy put it around on the boards as he's hit high back of the net by Lindy Ruff, who's on the ice for the first time for Buffalo. He's number 22, and that's Ruff with the puck. From Warburg, Alberta, played junior in Lethbridge. He's another 19-year-old. The underage trial. Ivan Boulder, 2-on-1 with Butler. Butler winding up. He shoots. Sauvé picked it out and covers up the puck. Another big save by Sauvé. And again, there's a little extra activity with Darcy Rhoda right there in the middle of it.
Well, I have to think that the young Sauvé playing goal for Buffalo is the most entertaining goalie in the league. Now, having said that, he looks and analyzes, and that brain of his reacts quicker than anybody else. When the shooter runs out of options like Butler did there, he just attacked that puck carrier like he shot out of a cannon. Stayed solid. No way in the world he had room in the short side. No way in the world it was going to go between his legs. It had to go in off the post. That's how you play this game of goal. And I would say at this point in time, he's as good as anybody in the league, if not the best.
Goals against average on the season was 2-3-6, as you see. And he's only given up 1 goal in the playoffs this year. On the face-off, the puck is steered out to center. There's a race for it as Dudley shadows McCarthy, who got the puck across to John Hughes. Hughes slapping it in. Came off the end boards, and Sauvé steers it to Playfair. It went high off the boards and into Vancouver territory. Now another race for the puck. So Bromley comes out to play it. Well, there'll be no icing. He had to play the puck. Hughes couldn't catch up with it. Dudley with the puck. Tried to center it. It hit Hughes. And it's controlled by Ivan Bolderin. One of the many National Leaguers out of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Bolderin to Rhoda. Rink wide for Butler. Went off the glove of Mike Ramsey. Ramsey going at McCarthy with her elbows up. Puck came to center ice. Ramsey winds up. Slaps it in around on the boards. Bromley stopped it back of the net. Sealing hustling after it. Bromley had to scoop it to the boards. Rhoda back to Hughes, who fanned on it, but recovered it. Got it to Darcy Rhoda. To Butler coming in with Bolderev. The defense is back. Butler tried to get it to Bolderev, and the play was broken up as Schoenfeld took Butler out of the play. Rick Martin with Perreault, 2 of the best. To Perreault, and he just missed the quick pass. Snip to Lupul. Dumped the puck out. Not dressed for Vancouver tonight are Dennis Kearns and the suspended Tiger Williams, and 2 injured players, Jerry Gillis and Rick Blight. They've been out a lot late in the season with injuries. And 2 key forwards in the Vancouver roster. Sabres have had an excellent year as far as injuries are concerned. They had 8 players play the full 80 games. Snets with the puck. Now to Mano. It's 1-all as Mano flips the puck in. Sauvé caught it. Leaves it. That's Rick Martin losing it. Recovered in front. Loose puck steered to the board. Sealing. Had his pass blocked by Rolly Brasser. The former Minnesota North Star dumping the puck in. Sauvé controlling it for Van Buxmeer. Checked by Ashton. Martin turning with the puck. Off the boards, out of the reach of Sealing. Driven right back in by Fraser. Hey, the tension will build up if they stay in this tight kind of hockey game right through it. It's 1-all with 5:08 left in the second period. Schoenfeld rushing. Putting on a move. Puts it in front. Strongly makes a big save on Perreault. As Perreault couldn't get the puck up high, and it's still 1-all.
Great play by Schoenfeld, setting up Perreault, who fortunately for Bromley was in too close to really make a play. Bromley stood his ground. That's all he could do.
Well, Bromley read the play. I think he knew the pass from Schoenfeld was going on a Perreault stick right in front of him. Now watch this. Watch Bromley. Just as the pass comes, he did the only thing he could do. Get down, say a little prayer that it's not going to go under me. If it goes over top of me, it's going to go over top the net. Another great save, and this youngster's proving that, hey, maybe he can play 2 good ones in a row.
He did a great job for Vancouver down the stretch late in the season. His season record was 8 wins, 2 losses, and 4 ties. Tight with a shot. Oh, just kicked away by Brownlee. He was going for the far corner. Battle for the puck on the boards. Craig Ramsey picking it up in the corner. He's tackled by Odlison. Covered up along the boards as the play is stopped. That was the right description, me son. Tackled by Odlison. From the Pacific Coliseum, the Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 4.
At the Pacific Coliseum, looking at the Buffalo bench, I'm Ted Reynolds with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson.
And that is Chris Odlison, who, by the way, is playing on his option year. The contract expires at the end of this season. Formerly with Oakland and Boston and a steady performer in Vancouver. Fraser couldn't pick up the puck along the boards. Height goes to it on the boards, beaten to it by Ottelson, got it to Kurt Fraser, didn't get it out. Ramsey picks it up, now to Luce, centering it. Oh, Bromley sprawled and steered away from right in front as it almost bounced off Gare in front of the net. Well, you see Scotty Bowman doing some line juggling now. He's got Gare out with Luce and Ramsey. They, of course, in the past have played together a lot. Logan throws a check on Luce. The referee gets the worst of it. For some reason, the crowd cheers as Hogarth was bounced around, but he bounces up. Puck is shot into Sabre territory. Kurt Fraser after it in the corner. Bill Height takes him out, and they cover up the puck to stop the play.
Pat Height, no matter how excited anybody else gets, he just does his job almost rhythmically. Here's that play in front of the net again, and Bromley sprawling out, and the fellow who was stirring it all up once more, Danny Gare.
I just don't think he's playing good hockey. You two fellas are raving about the guy. He gets his goals by going up and down the wing and playing his position and shooting the puck. He hasn't done that in this series. I think he's given the puck away more in this series than any other guy wearing a Buffalo uniform.
I think Gare's trying to do everything for his team tonight. That's one of the reasons why he maybe is wandering a bit. He had 5 shots on goal in the first period.
You could have stopped 4. He gets 5 shots and he's really shooting. He'll put them in. I've just given it to you, Jim.
Well, he's done an awful lot for that Buffalo team, hasn't he?
Not a thing in this playoffs. Not a thing. I have to agree with you, though. He's a heck of a hockey player, and I think this is one of the reasons the score is 1-1 now, mainly because Gare hasn't got that goal that he usually gets.
Well, he might before this one's over.
I wouldn't doubt it.
4 minutes left, second period. 1-all tie. Dudley moving in on Hughes. Dudley cutting for the net. Sweeps the puck around to the corner, keeps after it. Hughes stays with him. Good collision there, and a little extra push by Dudley after they bumped together. McCarthy on the boards for Rhoda, sweeping it out. Dudley with the puck. He's out there with Lindy Rupp and Andre Savard as Scotty Bowman has come up with a 4th line now, double shifting Dudley. Playfair flipped it high, knocked out of the air by a high stick, so this will stop the play. McCarthy picked it out of the air with a stick over the shoulder. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver.
I'm sitting with the owner, Mr. Hughes, of the Vancouver Canucks, and they said between periods he's doing the club more good sitting there than he did out in the ice.
Tiger Williams, that little scar on his face was picked up last night courtesy of Jim Schoenfeld. The man sitting with Tiger Williams is Frank Griffiths, the owner of the Vancouver Canucks. So Tiger gets to sit with the boss tonight. Bob Mano with the puck. Off the boards to center ice. Scooped right back in by Jim Schoenfeld. Mano goes to the puck, chased back on the goal by McKechnie. Mano band on it, but it slides to Brassard. Snep bringing it out on the boards. Moving in with Lupul. Lupul takes the pass, took a shot that hit Schoenfeld. John Van Buxmeer bumped back of the net by Ashton. A solid hit. This Ashton kid, he got a lot of good qualities. Brassard working hard, but the puck came out. Lupul back to Snep. Crowd reacts as Lupul was bounced around by Sealing. McKechnie turning with the puck, making moves. McKechnie in on Snep. Shooting it wide. Schoenfeld tapped it to the corner. Smith tried to center it for McKechnie in front. It's blocked. Now it's grabbed and covered up in the corner as McKechnie, or Smith it is, down on the ice, grabs the puck. Stop the play.
You stay with Bob Mano, number 22, and I hope for this youngster's sake that he improves his game in a hurry. I don't know why, but everyone out here thinks that he should have developed faster than he has. He should be a first-class defenseman now. He's the possessor of as good a pair of wheels as anybody's in the league, and one day in the not-too-distant future, he's going to be a very good hockey player, but gee, everywhere you go around this place here, they think he's just a terrible hockey player, and I hate to see that. He's still a baby.
Oh, no, Howie,
someday.
They don't say he's a terrible hockey player. They said he's prone to make errors, like a lot of young defensemen are.
You two keep at it now.
That's the accurate way now, Howie.
He's prone to make errors.
But he has the great wheels, and he scored a spectacular goal last night, the first one of the game. And he's playing well tonight. 2:10. Left in the second period, the crowd reacted. Godin was hauled down by Height. They go to the ice again. Play going on in the Vancouver zone. The puck is cleared off the boards to Smeal. Smeal for Gradine. Can't reach the pass as he was turning. Tight back to get the puck. Gradine goes in after him. Slowed him up a bit. Ties him up near the corner, but he got the puck around on the boards to Craig Ramsey. This is Gare with the puck. Shooting it in. Bromley caught it. Gives it to Dave Logan. Puts it off the boards to center ice. Blocked by Playfair. Put it back in offside.
There's what I mean. Gare 2-on-2 with a trailer, and he shoots the puck from center ice. That's not the Danny Gare that I watched get 56 goals this year.
Well, you two haven't settled anything on Mano. You haven't settled anything on Gare. I think both goaltenders are playing brilliantly. Anybody want to argue with me?
Not a soul. Coast to coast.
And
well,
I
that fella sure is.
I think the big surprise out here this evening is Brasser, Ashton, and Lupul, two kids of the fellow Brasser center who really tiptoed through the tulips. And if anything, that's the line that's sparking this club, and it has all the other guys, and there's Logan and Hughes and McCarthy and Sneps taking the man, and they have this Buffalo club looking over their shoulder, and I didn't think you could do that.
Oddelson and Savard facing off in the Vancouver zone in a 1-1 tie late in the second period. Perreault is out there double shifting on right wing with Savard at center, and Oddelson and Savard are having quite a verbal exchange. Now they'll line up beside each other so they can talk it over at close range. And they do a little pushing on the face-off. Brassard battling with Perreault on the face-off. Puck went into the circle. Perreault trying to dig it out. It's steered to the corner by McCarthy. Perreault goes in with him. Perreault kicked it loose. Dug out by Ole Brassard. Flipped it out off the boards. Oddelson racing after it. Pokes it in the Buffalo zone. Schoenfeld and Butler go after it. Schoenfeld steering it around on the boards. Van Boxmeer. Perreault or Savard trying to get room to skate. Now Rick Martin in on McCarthy. Taking him to the side. Martin trying to center it. Still loose in the Vancouver zone. Brassard by himself at center. Joined by Butler. Brassard making moves. Flipped the shot and a good save by Sauvé on a tricky wrist shot by Brassard. 52 seconds left. Second period, a 1-1 tie. Rick Martin, who has scored the Buffalo goal, to Savard. Centering it. Steered to Butler. Butler fought off Martin's check. Gary Butler from Sarnia, the former Toronto Maple Leaf, also played with the Blues and the Rangers, shooting the puck in the Buffalo zone. Canucks make a full change. 30 seconds left in the period. This is Van Boxmeer streaking in. The shot deflects off Sneps. Sneps winds up with the puck on the end boards, fighting it a bit. Got it to Bob Mano. On the right boards to Smeal. 15 seconds left in the period as Height intercepts the pass. Put the puck in the Vancouver zone. Craig Ramsey in after it, beaten to the puck by Mano. And you see those great wheels that Howie's talking about as Mano easily just pounced on that puck. Roto shoots it in wide as the buzzer goes to end a good second period. Nothing decided yet. In that period, Vancouver outshot Buffalo 10-9 through two periods. Sauvé, as you see him skating off, has faced 17 Vancouver shots, and Gary Bromley has faced 20 Buffalo shots in a good playoff hockey game in Vancouver tonight. There's Harry Neal and his Canucks going to the dressing room. There's young Brett Ashton, Bromley, Ivan Boldarev, Kurt Fraser. So the score after two periods, Buffalo 1, Vancouver 1.
Here's Gordie Howe for Amway of Canada.
I'm one of 500,000 Amway distributors worldwide. I'm meeting men and women from all walks of life who've also started their own part-time Amway businesses. With Amway, they meet new people and earn extra income. Come join our world. With Amway, you can do it too.
Contact an Amway distributor near you.
Get the whole story.
We've got a 1-1 tie here in Vancouver after two periods of play. It was Richard Martin for the Sabres in the first period. That was his fourth goal of the season. And in the second period, Darcy Rota tied it up for Vancouver at 4:42. Shots on goal in that second period of play. Vancouver outshooting Buffalo 10-9. Well, with me now is the injured Canuck netminder Glenn Hanlon. And Glenn, I have to believe that somebody is trying to tell you something about playoff hockey, because you didn't play last year and you were injured making your first start for the Vancouver Canucks in playoff action last night. Tell us how it happened.
Well, it was a very harmless type of play. It was just a 2-on-1, ordinary 2-on-1, and Ramsey came down with the puck, and I was more or less moving out, and he took it a bit wide, and I had to reach out with my goal stick, and my arm kind of got twisted out behind me, and somehow my arm, when I got up, it wasn't right.
Glenn, we're going to take a look at it now. We think this is a play that you may have been injured on. Perhaps you can once again recount it for us. Apparently it's not quite ready, so I'll ask you what the doctor has said about the injury.
Well, I was in the hospital last night, and they took an x-ray for broken bones, which I knew would prove negative, but they have to wait a week so I can move my arm before they can give it a dye job and switch it around in there to see if there's any tears or anything. But hopefully it's nothing too bad. It's pretty sore right now, but maybe in a couple weeks or so, once we get by this series, I'll be in there for the next one.
I've been watching you around the dressing room area here in Vancouver, and you seem to be in considerable pain.
Well, it is. Usually the second, after something like this, the second and third days are usually the worst days for pain, and once that gets by, you can kind of loosen it up a bit. And maybe if I was forward or something, I could play, who knows, but it's unfortunate when you play goal that you have to be very flexible and very agile, and the way Gary Bromley's playing right now, what's the use of playing a goalie at 80% when you've got a guy in there that's doing a job 120%?
Yeah, what can you say about the job that Gary Bromley has done? He came in and relieved you last night stone cold, and I know that's tough under normal circumstances, but in a playoff game, it's got to be even tougher.
Well, what can you say about it? He's just done everything for us. Before the season was over, he got us in the playoffs, and then he comes in last night when a very, very critical situation that I didn't want to leave the game, and I definitely didn't want to leave the game in the middle of the period, because that's when you're playing goal, that is the toughest part, to come in right off the bench in the middle of the period. But at least if you get maybe 5 or 10 minutes to concentrate and stretch out a bit, you can come in and do it. And Bonesy did the job, and he's continuing on right now tonight, and hopefully he's got 20 more minutes to keep us in there, and we might get a lucky one on him.
Which of the Buffalo forwards gives you the most trouble?
Well, definitely Richard Martin, because it seems that he's you have to respect the shot, and he has the hockey sense to, if you're overacting on his shot, then he'll walk around you, or else he'll pass the puck, and you just can't really figure him out. Perreault is almost the same, but I think that Martin can shoot the puck a bit harder than Perreault, so you don't have to really watch for the shot that much.
Very quickly, Glenn, what's going to happen in the third period?
Well, Vancouver Canucks will get one, and the Bones will come through with another remarkable job, and off we go to Philadelphia.
Glenn Hanlon, the Molson Cup winner for the Vancouver Canucks this past season. And speaking of the Molson Cup, Morris Lutwich, the Molson Cup winner in Winnipeg, will be coming up next. Stanley Cup 1980 continues in a moment.
A look at the ice here at the Pacific Coliseum from the north end, and there's the second period summary. Darcy wrote his goal, his second of the series, his sixth in Stanley Cup play. Bolderov and Snepps drew assists early in the second period. There's Gary Bromley, who faced those 9 Buffalo shots in the second period. Bob Sauvé, who faced 10 Vancouver shots. The shots are 20-17 overall in Buffalo's favor.
Should the Vancouver Canucks win this game, the two clubs will return to Buffalo for a game that would be seen in British Columbia, 5 o'clock, in Eastern Canada, 8 o'clock on Monday evening. And the Vancouver Canucks have gun reservations. Harry Neal had those made to leave here at 9:15 tomorrow morning, go to Toronto, and then go by bus on into Buffalo. And they figure that if they have to play that 5th game, which would be 5 in the 7 nights and 2 transcontinental trips, they might be able to stand it better than Buffalo.
The Sabres are now playing their 7th game in 10 nights as they finished with a string of games, but when they complain about travel, and Scotty Bowman was a little concerned about fatigue and travel across the continent, but Scotty, Vancouver lives with that because of geography. And there's many times they have to travel and come back home and play 2 games. Is that right? You travel, you know. You can't change the map around. And it's a short road trip from many eastern cities to other eastern cities, but there's not many short road trips out of Vancouver. And they just have to live with it. A legitimate excuse, I guess you could say. Dudley at his own line with the puck. It's a 1-all tie as we're in the third period. Game 4. Vancouver has to win it to stay alive. Buffalo leading the series 2-1. Snips his pass intercepted. Richie Dunn's shot went high. Puck bouncing to the corner. In goes Craig Ramsey. Came back near the line. Dunn had it knocked down by Snips. It went out of the air with a high stick, and the play is stopped by referee Ron Hogarth.
There could well be a game someplace still on Monday night, perhaps in Buffalo or New York or someplace like that. If there is one, it will be seen on Hockey Night in Canada. If everything is over and there is no game on Monday night, there will be a Montreal Canadian game against somebody on Wednesday night. From the Montreal Forum, the Canadians, who ended up 3rd overall behind Philadelphia and just behind this Buffalo club, would be playing somebody. At the moment, Montreal is in the next round. The Canadians are there. 3 straight. Canucks are hanging on.
In the Vancouver zone, the puck came loose, recovered by Andre Savard, shot by Playfair. Oh, it dribbled right in behind Bromley, but it stayed out. He didn't know where it went off it. Here's a shot by Van Boxmeer, just went wide. Kurt Fraser hit by Van Boxmeer. Hughes got the puck ahead to Gradine, who dumped it out. Smeal racing after the puck. Mike Ramsey gets to it. Plays it across to Lindy Ruff, who's been used sparingly. His pass deflects over to John Hughes of Vancouver. Dumping it in. Smeals racing in after. Oh, it came off the glass. Sauvé was out to lunch, but there was no one near the puck. Those tricky partitions on the glass back of the goal. There was no one around to get the puck. An offside indicated, but the play continues as the Canucks bring out the puck. Gradine pushing it in. Picked off by Mike Ramsey, the fine rookie from Minnesota and the U.S. Olympic team. And the puck is flipped over the glass and out of play.
Well, I'd like to suggest that maybe I do a little second guessing here, fellas.
Well, in a minute. Okay. Howie from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. This is Stanley Cup 80.
Ted Reynolds along with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson at the Pacific Coliseum as the linesmen get between a couple of players who are saying nasty things to each other.
That shot just went off the goalpost. Howie Bromley was fortunate there.
He got a bit of it on his left shoulder, out the low post and out behind him, and nobody there waiting to put it in.
And that could have been a go-ahead goal for Buffalo, but it's still a 1-1 tie. Sauvé controls the puck for Schoenfeld. Sauvé and Bromley in a duel as Dave Logan had trouble getting the puck, and he lost it to Perreault. Lindgren checking Perreault. Perreault shoots. He scores! Gilbert Perreault! And it's 2-1 Buffalo.
You know, you talk about Martin's shot. Ted Perreault can let go a bullet, Howie.
Well, you talk about all our college teams and everything else saying we don't want any stars, we want an average bunch of hard-working hockey players. Well, this is what talent does for you. This is what the stars do. When you have a game going like you have tonight, it's got to be a Perreault, a Martin, or a Sealing, or a Gare get that goal. If you have them, the chances are 70-30 you're going to win. If you don't have them, you got to be lucky. Watch this shot. Bromley's out far enough, but it had such velocity and up high to his right side. I don't think he could have stopped it if he'd have had a net.
Dave Logan lost the puck at the Buffalo line, and there went Perreault with an unassisted goal at 2:04. It's 2-1 Buffalo. A good solid check along the boards by Lindgren on Sealing as the puck came around to Lupul. Flips it out to center ice. Schoenfeld chasing it. Arneson goes, and he grabs Dunn. Got away with it there as Arneson hauled Dunn to the ice with an interference. Lindgren back to get the puck. Early in the third period, it's 2-1 Buffalo. That's the way the series stands. Larry Playfair to the puck. To McKechnie, ran into Butler. Puck goes to Mano. Left wing pass for Darcy Rota. Shoots it. Easily stopped by Sauvé, seeing it all the way. Schoenfeld back of the net. Checked by Balderith. Gare clears it to center. McKechnie racing after it, and Mano with a great skating gets the puck, and here he goes. Bob Mano. Wound up losing, but Butler got the puck. It's deflected by Rota. Stopped by Sauvé on a slow deflection. This is Gare trying to split the defense. Coming in on Smith. Danny Gare shooting, and it deflects off Smith. Smith took Gare to the boards. Puck comes around to Butler. Now to Balderith. On his left is Rota. Taking the pass. Playfair goes to check him. Balderith in front. Balderith couldn't get the puck. Knocked down in front of the net. Close call. It's still 2-1. Puck is is cleared down the ice. As Rhoda and McKegney buff together back of the play. Bob Mano starting another rush. A lot of action left. 16-14 left in regulation time. Smeal to the puck. Shot it behind the net. It came off the inboards. Craig Ramsey steers it for Dudley. Couldn't get to it. Don Luce took it off his skate. Dumps it in the Canuck zone. Might be icing. McCarthy gets to the puck. Icing called on Buffalo. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Vancouver.
Other games tonight, Pittsburgh confounding all the experts, now up 3-0 over Boston. Lonsbury has the first two, and the Rangers seem to have theirs going now. They are ahead of Atlanta. That's in the third, 4-1.
A Ranger win there would end that series. The other series is tied at 1 game apiece. They'll play their 4th game tomorrow in Pittsburgh. Smeal to Gradine. Now this is Dunn with the puck. Richie Dunn moving it into the Vancouver zone. Bromley stops it at the side of the goal. Kevin McCarthy turning with the puck. The score is 2-1 Buffalo. Gradine tips it to Kurt Fraser. Lost control at center ice. Puck slides in the Vancouver zone. Icing waved off. McCarthy back for the puck. Put it on the boards for Hughes. Takes a look and feeds it ahead to Fraser. Coming out with Smeal. Smeal can't reach the hard pass. Keep working for the puck. Comes off the boards to Gradine, who's been very ineffective tonight. Not like Gradine, who's had a fine season in Vancouver with 75 points on the year. Now Logan at center with the puck. Shooting it in. Bill Height turning with the puck. Gradine goes into forecheck. Height coming away from him along the boards. Oh, he misses a check from Ashton. And the puck goes into the Vancouver zone. Logan turns with it there. To Lucal. Lucal from center ice. Trying to go through the middle. Tripped up. Rossar shoots. It's blocked. Puck is covered up by Lindy Rupp down on the ice.
Young Rupp down there coddling the puck is just a youngster, 19 years of age. The Vancouver Canucks playing tonight without their Tiger Williams. Harry Neal missing him desperately, too, as he looks on from behind the bench with his team now down 2-1. Williams suspended by the league today after an altercation last night.
Dave Logan's shot went high. Lars Lindgren, playing with a bad wrist, can't get much on his shot. Notice he's not slapping it that much. His wrist shot went high. This is Andre Savard or Lindy Rupp, too far ahead. Rupp, normally a defenseman, but he's played quite a bit on the forward line in his rookie season. He's got a chance here in front. A backhander. Bromley stopped it. Now he covers it up at the side of the goal as Logan high sticks with Schoenfeld. Rupp arrives. And everybody arrives.
Ruff's backhand shot reminded me of mine. It wouldn't break a pane of glass.
Did you hear that, folks? Howie Meeker says his backhand would not break a pane of glass.
And the other part of it is I couldn't put it in the ocean off the wharf.
That Rupp kid is big, Jim. He's over 6 feet, 195 pounds. He's from where's the name of that place in Alberta?
Everybody knows that. Warburg, north of Edmonton. Of course, there's a lot north of Edmonton. And here's his chance to score.
Well, he'll come around. I just had to let his shot go, and it didn't scare Bromley, I'll tell you.
Logan mixing it up there as Rupp arrives. He was mixing it up with Schoenfeld initially. Well, the penalties have slowed down anyway. The Vancouver club has had 8 minor penalties. Buffalo's had 7. There have been none in the third period. Started out very rough with a lot of tension early in the game after the Bowman-Williams incident last night. Steps had trouble and lost the puck. Rick Martin clears it in. Mano takes over. Perot goes in to check him. He'll give him trouble. Mano turns neatly away with the puck to Odlinson. Stick handling in his own zone. Odlinson trying to get it to Fraser. Odlinson was out there for a face-off. He goes to the bench now. Gradine comes back to center. Smeal and Fraser. Perot puts it off the board. Fraser turning with the puck. Back to Mano. Mano to Stan Smeal. Easily blocked by Mike Ramsey of Buffalo. Failed to get by Smeal, who rolled it in. Playfair goes to the puck. Buffalo 2, Vancouver 1. 13:24 left in regulation time. Buffalo leads the series 2-1. Mano starting a rush. To Fraser. To Smeal. Coming in with Gradine on the right. They're offside. Green went in too soon. This is Stanley Cup 80 from the Pacific Coliseum.
Well, everybody's here to watch this game. I'm Ted Reynolds along with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson. There's a face-off just outside the Buffalo blue line.
The clock shows 13 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game. Darcy Rhoda drives the puck into Sabre territory. Sauvé stops it back of the net for Height. Puts it around on the boards. It comes to McCarthy. And shot right on. Sauvé made a good save. Partially screened, but came up with the puck. Lindy Ruff getting more ice time in this third period. Scotty Bowman trying to find some fresh legs in that Buffalo lineup. Both these teams are pretty tired. Here's a penalty to Van Boxmeer, tripping Butler behind the play. A foolish penalty. The puck is centered. Sauvé covered it up. Now Van Boxmeer will get the penalty, and he looked over his shoulder after. He knew he'd done it, but it was a bad penalty, and Savard was up there in front of the net. Canucks will have a power play now.
Unusual for a fellow of Van Boxmeer's moxie to take a silly penalty like that in the third period.
With the score, Buffalo 2, Vancouver 1. This is Stanley Cup 80.
Crucial now as Van Boxmeer has gone at 7:24, 2 minutes for hooking. Ivan Boldarev is out to take the face-off for the Canucks to the left of Sauvé.
Smeel digs out the puck on the boards. Back to Mano at the point. Takes a shot. Over to Brassard. Bad pass, but he got to it. Put it behind the net. Sauvé missed it. Boldarev from the corner. Berdeen's in front of the net. Takes quite a beating there. Not afraid to go there, but he's not big. Mano shoots in the crowd and kicks just outside the post off a couple of legs in front. Boldarev. Smeal's now in front. That's the guy who should be there with his stocky size. Battle for the puck on the boards. Smeel back of the net for it. To the point to Brassard. Takes a shot that's blocked. Chipped in by Brassard. Took it off of the stick of Don Luce. Berdeen to Mano. To Berdeen. Smeel in front of the net being worked over by Height. Boldarev. To Mano. To Boldarev. To Mano. To Boldarev. Shoot. It's a puck off the leg in front. Schoenfeld golfed at it. Mano kept it in. Mano shoots. Knocked down by Height. Man, that hurt him. But he stopped it. Schoenfeld went on the board by Berdeen. And there's Billy Height, knowing there's a lot of pressure on.
They listened to you, Jim, and they got Smeel in front of that net. And of course, he's very effective in there. He had a couple of the Buffalo defensemen worrying about him, and it was very, very close. Sauvé, like any good goaltender, is good, and he's lucky at the same time. Mano has something to say.
Well, I'll tell you, you just want to watch this fill in front of the net. Bill Height put the clutch on Smeel. He's got to be Scotty Bowman's most valuable defenseman, because anytime he's in trouble on offense and particularly defense, out-trots Mr. Height. And I would say, folks, he probably has the least physical skills of any person playing defense in the National Hockey League. But is he some kind of defenseman? He's always got a stick in the way, a foot in the way. Something gets in the way. He never tries to overtax his talent either. Just a great, great hockey player.
In that last series, he had his hand in the way, and I think he hurt his hand as Height has gone to the bench, and Frankie Christie, the veteran trainer, is checking him over there, and Height took one on the hand, but of course he'll be back in action. You can count on that. 11:28 left in the game. 50 seconds left in the Sabre penalty. Lupo from behind the net, tried to center it. Loose puck in front. Back to Lindgren. Lindgren holds the puck. Over to Mano. Winding up. Mano at the blue line. Over to Rhoda. He shoots. It's blocked. Rhoda back to Mano. Mano to Rhoda. 30 seconds left in the power play. Rhoda flips it out. Mano really tired. Went to the ice. Lindgren back to get the puck. It goes right to Don Luce. That's at the end of the Canuck pressure on the power play. Now they got to get that puck and go with it. 14 seconds left in the penalty. Lindgren dumps it in. McCarthy goes in after it. Schoenfeld covers it up with McCarthy. They stop the play.
Well, there are times you sit back and look at the situation on the ice, and you wonder now whatever caused the coach to do that. And I'm thinking about Lindgren, who was pretty good on the point, but with the sore wrist, his shot just couldn't break a pane of glass. And no time in the world to have him out there. There's a little bit of interference in front of the net. Sobe's usually pretty good with that stick. He doesn't let you get away with it.
That's Kevin McCarthy in front of the net, and that's Duck working him over. It's a tough, hard game.
It's been an excellent hockey game, and it's too bad that there's not 18,000 Vancouver fans watching it. It's been great entertainment.
That's Van Boxmeer at the penalty box. He only has 6 seconds left in his penalty. A good, hard-hitting playoff hockey game. There will be a loser, and there will be a winner. And there might be a 5th game Monday in Buffalo, or the Sabres will play next Wednesday. And the Canucks will be through. We'll see what happens in the last 10:28 of the game. Buffalo back at full strength. This is Butler. Hook. No penalty. Logan Gamble. Logan from behind the net. Logan with the puck. In the corner. Put it in front. August to shoot. Sauvé stopped it, and he covers up the puck. Logan is hit in front of the net. Watch the action in front of Sauvé. These teams are playing a lot of hockey, 4 games in 5 nights, a lot of travel, but with great effort.
Well, Butler, who's played just tremendous since coming here from Toronto Maple Leafs, went through the middle and was hooked, and he wasn't quite good enough actor. I think if he'd have taken the dive, he might have called the penalty, but certainly Sauvé stood up, and that's the key to playing this crazy position of goal. On this shot here, look at him stand up, he's screened, but makes the save. I just think he's a great little goaltender.
Logan took a little bit of a reefing in there as General Manager, Vice President Jake Milford looks on with a worried look at this thing, but Logan kept his cool and didn't try and go back at him. They certainly don't want a penalty here. They want a goal or 2 or 3.
10-12 left in the game. That is in regulation time. Buffalo 2, Vancouver 1. 1 Canuck dress for this game. Rob Tudor has not been on the ice. Up from Dallas late in the season. Loose puck in the Vancouver zone. McKechnie and Mano racing to it. Bromley steered it to the corner. Mano taken out by McKechnie. Puck came loose in front. This is Kurt Fraser moving in on Mike Ramsey. Ramsey stayed with him for a while. Fraser centered it. Oh, it off the leg in front. Schmiel tried to dig out the puck. He's knocked down. Puck is cleared, not out. Mano kept it in. His pass bouncing around. Mike Ramsey rushing out. Snep comes up with the puck. You really have to admire these teams' effort here tonight. They played 2 in Buffalo, traveled across the country, played 2 more in 2 nights here, and they've really put out an effort. Kevin McCarthy shooting it in front. Neal swung at it, but it didn't get through to him as he tried to first time it. McCarthy to Hughes, and Vancouver's carrying the play right now. Buffalo leads 2-1. Schoenfeld puts it around at the boards to Sealing. This is Perreault and Martin coming in on McCarthy. Martin centering it. It's blocked by McCarthy. Martin holds the puck to Perreault. He shoots and he missed the net. Schmiel chips it off the boards. Not out. Schmiel with the puck again. To Hughes. It's still in the Vancouver zone. Banked around on the boards. Kevin McCarthy trying to come out. Martin back with Perreault. Martin controlling the puck at center. Hughes put it off the boards. Keeps fighting for it. Goes loose at the line. Schmiel goes in after with Schoenfeld. Battling for the puck. Godin goes in to try and dig it up. Schoenfeld covering it up and on the boards while down on the ice. Gets the stoppage in play with 8:19 left.
And everybody gets into it again there. Big Schoenfeld. And there could be penalties in this. Schoenfeld's up on his feet now. We'll have to wait and see.
Stanley Cup 80 will continue in a moment.
Well, nothing came of it. There have been no penalties assessed, and both clubs making player changes. 8 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. Buffalo in front 2-1 on Perreault's goal in this 3rd period that broke the 1-1 tie. Face-off will be to Sauvé's left. Sauvé's been very steady. We are having technical difficulties, power problems here in Western Canada right at the moment. So if you have a glimmering picture, a fading picture, or a picture that's doing funny things, don't adjust your set.
My voice is getting a little hoarse, too. You can't do any adjustment for that. The score is 2-1 Buffalo with 8:05 left in regulation time. Rhoda takes a shot. Oh, and over the net. Bounces around to John Van Boxmeer. Now to Savard. Coming in on Lindgren. Alone in front is Lindy Ruff, but they can't get him the puck. Savard still getting control. Try to put it in front. Lindy Ruff was all alone going to the front of the net. But Savard didn't see him in time. Puck is shot into Vancouver territory. Bromley stops it at the side of the goal. Fine goaltending tonight by Bromley and Sauvé. In the Vancouver zone. Lindgren after the puck with Van Boxmeer, bumping back at the goal. It's still back of the net. Control by Boldred. His pass intercepted. Backhanded by Ruff, stopped by Bromley. Behind the net, Savard coming around in front. Savard with the puck centering it. A scramble in front of Bromley. A shot, he stopped it. Where's the puck? There it is, it's still in play. And it's dug out by Darcy Rhoda. To Odlinson. Dumping it in. Rhoda goes after with Playfair. Came to the line and out. Gary Lupul at center with the puck. Putting it in, racing it after it. Against Mike Ramsey. Lupul keeps digging. Odlinson to the point to Snep. To Odlinson. Back to Snep. Takes the shot. Blocked in front. Lupul digging for the puck. It's neatly corralled by Mike Ramsey. To Craig Ramsey at center. Lost it there. 6:40 left. 2-1 Buffalo. Play in the Sabre zone. Anderson, oh, a high stick there. No penalty. Now the play is stopped. Anderson really ran Craig Ramsey down on the ice.
Well, it's not often you see Anderson check that tough. He usually checks but keeps the stick down, and I'm quite surprised that he got the stick up as high as he did.
As Craig Ramsey looks pretty groggy. Oh, he's hurt. He was high stick there by Odlinson, although no penalty was called on the play. Odlinson hit him high. This Ramsey's been a key Buffalo player since he came into the league as a second-round draft choice in 1971. There's Odlinson, who has been involved in a few hard-nosed incidents over the year. He's had 4 facial fractures of his own.
He was really not expected to play very much, perhaps only with the exception of face-offs when they came home after he was injured in Buffalo. But he got up pretty high on the Buffalo player there.
Very high.
He didn't sit on him, though, after he was down, which is was a gentle elbow.
Well, nothing with the stick at all. Well,
there are chaps who would have just sat right down on his face there after they got him down.
I thought the stick was up a little, Howie.
Didn't make contact, though.
Ramsey, I think, is going to be all right, which is the important thing.
Well, regardless of what the crowd thinks, I just think it's been a tremendous hockey game, and the official who's handling it out there has done a super job.
I will agree with that. Ron Hogarth, in the first couple of minutes, there was great tension here, and it took a strong job of officiating right off the start, and that's what he provided. It's only his 6th year as an NHL official, which isn't long by NHL official standards, but he's done a fine job.
Well, last night, the game took almost 3 hours to complete, and that was in regulation time without overtime. They're zipping along here at a pretty good clip tonight. The first 2 periods went by well. For the Vancouver Canucks, if this does nothing else, it gives Harold Schneps a chance to get his breath. He's hardly been off the ice since the start of the second period. He's been playing awfully well.
Well, we mentioned a moment ago Jake Milford looking at it, and he wasn't too happy, but certainly I don't think he expected to win this series. Maybe he hoped, but he has to be happy about Fraser, Lupul, Ashton, Mano, and Hanlon for next year, and the trade with Butler, Williams, Smeel, and Gerdine. They're going to have a much improved hockey club here in Vancouver next year.
6:32 left in regulation time. The Sabres leading 2-1. Rick Martin in the first period, Gilbert Perreault in the third. The second period goal by Vancouver's Darcy Rhoda. Little fencing off the face-off. Well, they'll line up again. Odlinson's waved out of the circle.
I can't understand why they don't say stand the way you're supposed to stand as it's stated in the rule book. If you don't, it's a 2-minute penalty. Look at there, 2 illegal guys. And again.
Scooped off the boards, not out. Now it comes out to center. Schneps picks it up. McKechnie hustles after him. Gare gets the puck. Coming in with Smith. Gare shoots. It's blocked by Schneps. The puck went to the corner. Gare after it there. Put it behind the net. Lupul goes to the corner after it. Took a check from McKechnie, but got the puck to Ashton. To Odlinson. Now to Schneps. Coming in with Ashton. Schneps to Ashton. Takes a shot that's blocked. And this young Mike Ramsey is coming up with a solid game for the Sabres. Sauvé comes out and clears the puck ahead to Gare. This is McKegney coming in on Mano. Mano stays with him and then winds up with the puck to Ashton. Rink wide, a gambling pass to Snep. Chased by Perreault. Back to Mano as the teams change on the move. 5:40 left. 2-1 Buffalo, and a good one. Game 4 of the series, the Sabres lead 2-1. Stan Smeel just overskates the puck in the slot. He was looking up to Brodin coming in with him. Schoenfeld back of the net. Checked by Brassler. A lot of line juggling going on. The combinations are changing. Lindgren to Brassler. Out there with Brodin and Smeel. The pass to Smeel. He shoots. Oh, Sauvé out of position. But the shot dribbled wide as Sauvé had lost his balance. Hasn't been out of position like that much all night. Was fortunate. The shot rolled wide.
One of the very few times you'll ever see Sauvé, or that Harry Neal will see Sauvé lose his balance. And fortunately for the Buffalo goaltender, there you see, he just lost it. And that puck, I think it did come off his left glove.
It looked like he was in a square dance.
Yeah, that's what they do over at Vancouver Island on a Saturday night of how he's done at the hockey game.
My son and his wife had baby girl today, so we'll have a little barn dance after I get home midnight tonight.
Oh, Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Not a boy, Grandpa. Congratulations. Bob Sauvé. Saint-Geneviève, Quebec. And he's played a strong game for Buffalo. The backup is Don Edwards. Vancouver's backup, as you listen and hear the action of the crowd and see their rhythmic applause, there's Sauvé. And Vancouver's backup is young Ken Ellicott up from Dallas because of the injury to Hanlon.
Gentlemen, after hearing that, I'm not sure I'm in the Vancouver rink. That's just not the Vancouver fans. Folks, it's got to be a great, great hockey game to get them going like that.
And normally it's the quietest rink in the league. Play in Buffalo territory. Craig Ramsey back in action out there after taking that hit from Odlinson. Battle for the puck along the boards. 4 of them jam in and cover it up. Now there's 4:52 left.
This referee's got to be getting a little weary. A tired birthday for him. He was the fellow that worked that Edmonton double overtime thing last night where Philadelphia eliminated Edmonton, Hogarth, and now he's got to come down here. And this one, he's not out of the woods as far as overtime is concerned because there's 4:52 left, and the play about the last 3 or 4 minutes has all been up in Scotty Bowman's end of the rink, and Scotty knows it. He better chew a little more ice, I guess.
Well, he looks in full command at the bench. As Don Luce and Ivan Boldyrev line up. There's Boldyrev motioning, and there's Don Luce. Very steady professional over his NHL career. The draw came to McCarthy, right on with his shot, and Sauvé standing up blocked the shot by Kevin McCarthy, and he got good wood on it. Boldyrev to McCarthy. That could have been the tying goal, but Sauvé kicked it out. Butler pokes the puck in the Buffalo zone. 4:34 left in this regulation time, and they're offside at the Buffalo blue line. Live from Vancouver, the Stanley Cup playoff.
That's the score, and 4:32 remain. Don Luce out there. He's the calmest looking man on the ice and gets the face-off from Boldyrev.
Bob Mano back with the puck for Snep to Mano. 4:22 left. To Butler. Steered it to center. Schoenfeld taps it off the boards to Craig Ramsey, who's out there with Luce and Dudley. Mano dumping the puck out. Schoenfeld picks it up. He's on defense with Richie Dunn. Now the Sabres make a change in their defense. And their forwards as they pour off the bench. 4 minutes left in regulation time as Boldyrev steers it to Snep. Lost it at center. It's recovered by Butler, who puts it in. Goes to the bench. Loose puck at center. Mano goes in to pick it up. Dumping it in. Smeel hustling into forecheck. Goes in against Dunn on the board. Smeel and Dunn fighting for the puck. Look at Smeel with his arms down and good strength after that puck. As Dunn pinned him on the board, but couldn't stop him from playing the puck. And now they cover it up. And they got to be fired.
Jim, in this period, there have been 11 faceoffs in the Buffalo end, 2 in the Vancouver end. Yet the score is 2-1 on one great individual effort. As we look down at a couple of heavy-breathing players. Well, they're all heavy-breathing down there. There's Tiger Williams sitting with Mr. Frank Griffiths, the president of the Vancouver Canucks. Tiger sitting out his suspension. And I guess this is a timeout, is it?
Looks like it, and the crowd from Thunder Bay is here, all the way from Thunder Bay, and they're seeing a good one. And a timeout has been called, I believe, by the Buffalo Sabres. It is because their goaltender has gone to the bench. The other team's goaltender cannot. Although we had a game this season in Quebec when the goaltender did go to the bench and cost his team a penalty.
Let's check those out-of-town scores again. Middleton has got Boston back in against Pittsburgh. And Rangers are still ahead of Atlanta.
Harry Neal doing a lot of coaching at the Vancouver bench, and Neal has never missed the playoffs in his years as a coach. Very vocal, enthusiastic, 43-year-old coach from Sarnia originally, but of course played a lot of junior hockey in Toronto.
With a great sense of humor and just great one-liners.
Oh, he's got the greatest one-liners in the league. Rick Sealing.
This youngster has tremendous talent, but in this last two games here in Vancouver has certainly not displayed that talent. He has soft hands. He's a good puck handler, fair skater, not a great one, but heads for holes. Head can make the plays as well as anybody. He has not played close to his potential in the two games here.
There's the kind of a year he had. In this game, the shots on goal are 26-23 in Buffalo's favor with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in regulation time, and the crowd here chanting, "Go Canucks, go!" And as Howie mentioned, noisier than usual for a Vancouver crowd. Usually much quieter than that sellout crowd in Buffalo. Face off on that spot in Buffalo territory. Canucks get the draw. McCarthy to Lindgren. Take the shot. Missed the net. Sovey didn't see it, but it was off target as Sovey was screened. Craig Ramsey wins a fight for the puck and dumps it out. Sealing racing after with Lindgren. Lindgren squeezes him along the boards. Brassard got the puck, lost it. Loose from behind the net, centering it. And it's tipped away by McCarthy from in front. McCarthy fighting to get the puck. Now only Brassard gets possession. Stick handling outside his own line. Flipped it for Gradine out of his reach. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left in regulation time. Buffalo leads the game 2-1. Leads the series 2-1. A big goal by Perreault, unassisted. Has broken the tie as Mano rushes. Trying to go all the way. Can't get through. And you saw all those blue uniforms converge on Mano. Ashton dumping it in. Schoenfeld, who's played a strong game for the Sabres, clears it out. Arnolfsson scoops it in. Dunn back for the puck. Richie Dunn from behind the net. To Dudley off the boards. To Gare coming in with Smith. Smith offside as he shot the puck wide, and Snips didn't like him shooting the puck as the whistle blew.
Ted Reynolds with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson. Pittsburgh ahead of Boston 3-1. Middleton's for Boston in the third. And Rangers would appear to have their series sewn up against Atlanta with that 4-1 lead late in the third.
The Islanders in Los Angeles in a game tonight not yet underway. And, of course, Philadelphia, Montreal, Minnesota, and Chicago advanced to the quarterfinals last night. Quarterfinals start Wednesday on Hockey Night in Canada. Larry Playfair back to get the puck. Chased behind the net by Lupul. Puck came to center ice. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. Time so important. Lupul checked off the puck by young Mike Ramsey. Played so well. And this kid Ramsey, number 23 of the Sabres, is 19 years of age. He'll be tested here again. Lupul. Shot hit Ramsey. Ashton goes after it in the corner. Bumps into big Playfair, who nailed him on the end boards. Puck steered to center ice. Ivan Bolderev picks it up. Now to Mano, who's played an awful lot along with Sneps there in that Vancouver defense. Off the boards at the Vancouver bench. The Canucks on a rather sloppy change there. Now Sneps with the puck. Now there's a minute and 32 seconds left. Oh, a pass went behind McCarthy and Butler. Craig Ramsey scoops it. It hit Rhoda. Butler dumps it to the line. Bromley still in the nets. 1:20 left. Sneps with the puck. It's tense, it's exciting, it's a good playoff game in Vancouver tonight. Jerry Butler, urged on by the crowd. Takes it in. Bromley still in goal. The puck is in behind the net. Boulder it to the corner. Lost the puck on the board. Sabres come out. We're in the last minute. Don loose. Moving in. Try to drop it back. Lindgren blocks the pass. Hook him out. Rhoda overskates the puck. It's in behind the net. Lindgren got away with a hold there. The play goes on. There's not likely to be a penalty in this stage. Battle for the puck. It's underneath them down on the ice. The face-off comes outside, says the referee. 41 seconds left. The Canucks will try and get their goaltender out.
I was a little surprised they didn't get him out with 1 minute and 29 seconds to go with the puck deep in the Buffalo zone. Certainly this Scotty Bowman coach team is not going to give you too many chances to have a face-off in their zone. They use the boards, keep it around the outside, never pass the puck into anyone who's center ice. It's against the boards. The angle on is equal to the angle off, and they skate into the puck and pick it up. Got to be as good as any team in the National Hockey League coming out of their own zone.
Vancouver calls a timeout. 41 seconds left in the game. They'll discuss the face-off, how to get the goaltender out, how to get the puck in and put on late pressure. After this fine effort tonight, but it might go down the drain, and it might be the end of Harry Neal's season. He's on a 3-year contract at Vancouver with a year to run. It's been rumored that he was offered an extension, but turned it down. Says, I'll do it here in 3 years, or someone else will.
Well, I think both he and Jake Milford have done a great job. They've got a great bunch of youngsters who really want to play hockey. Maybe one or two of them that give you the impression they're playing out the string, and one or two give you the impression they had rather golf tomorrow than play hockey back in Buffalo on Monday night, but that's not bad. The majority of them are young, they're comers, they're working hard, they have medium skills, maybe average skills, a lot of them. He's got a good foundation to build on, and he's a coach that should stay with him, and I would think would be with him for quite some time. Good coach.
41 seconds left. Play underway. Bromley still in the nets. Going for the bench now. Green dumps it in. Sauvé comes out to sweep it aside. Put it off the boards and out. Vancouver's goal is empty. 30 seconds to go. Snaps off the boards. It's put into the Buffalo zone. It came out again. Snaps controlling it. Lost it. It's speared in the Canuck zone. A race for it. Sealing and Mano. Sealing shoots. He scores! That'll wrap it up. The Buffalo bench celebrates. Rick Sealing hits the empty net with 19 seconds left. The Sabres have a 3-1 lead and are heading to the quarterfinals.
I'll tell you, a few moments ago when discussing Sealing, I said he hadn't played up to his potential in 2 games here and that he had average wheels. I have to check that statement because he outskated Bobby Mano, and I would think that Mano had a step on him at one time, but Sealing said, hey, I'm going to get to that puck first, and when I get there, I'm going to put it in the net, and that he can do. He is a good goal scorer, has soft hands, and I would think he complements Perreault and Martin when he plays on the wing with them as much as any hockey player in the game does today.
An empty net goal by Sealing. Luce gets the assist. 1941, the time of the goal. And the Sabres, as you see on the bench there, are very happy. They didn't want to go all the way across the continent to play another hockey game Monday and then have possibly to play a game Wednesday. Now they get a few days to rest their bruises, and they've got some after this series, Howie. It's been a hard-hitting, grinding kind of series.
Well, I said to you last night, Jim, that I think Scotty Bowman has done it with mirrors. He has a defense that is by no stretch of the imagination close to being the best in the league. He has pretty good offense up front, 4 or 5 excellent skilled hockey players who can score goals. But they win the Vezina Trophy by 31 goals, and they win it on system and not too mobile, not too good puck-handling defense. And I think it's the Bowman magic, the Bowman coaching, never mind the other two. Bowman's the guy that makes his team go.
There's not many people in the building right now, but most of them are standing and applauding. I would say it's a tribute to both teams for this effort tonight. Their 4th game in 5 nights. The seconds are ticking away. There's 7 seconds left in the game and in Vancouver's season as the puck is covered up with 3 seconds left. It was far from a sellout here tonight. Lupul is still steaming over there on the boards, and the officials skate in and said, let's finish it off with 3 seconds to play. A very spirited effort by these clubs tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. Coast to coast. There's a guy, look at him smile. He feels the pressure's off now, but what a job he's done. 1 goal against in 2 games. What a season. And he hopes he's in many more playoff games, and he could be with this Buffalo team. Luce and Lupul ready to face off with 3 seconds left on the clock. It's 3-1 Sabres. They win the series by that margin as well. There's the face-off. The end of the game. It's all over. The Sabres pour off the bench to congratulate Sauvé. There's the big celebration. The shots on goal in the third period, 7 apiece. In the game, Buffalo 27 on Bromley. Vancouver 24 on Sauvé. There's Bromley. Now you see him with the mask off. Very dejected, but he played an outstanding game. An excellent hockey game. There's Donnie Edwards, whose fine goaltending contributed to Buffalo's second-place finish overall and in this series. A win and a loss. Larry Playfair didn't play a lot tonight. Now the traditional handshake. And I think they're both very weary after that hard hitter tonight, Howie.
Well, I've seen maybe 25 hockey games this year, and that's as good as any I've seen. I certainly have to compliment the Vancouver Canucks on their ruggedness. They're very abrasive, very hard-working hockey team with talent that's going to get better, and certainly you just can't say enough about the Buffalo Sabres. Sauvé in goal was great. I'm very impressed with the way Dunn handles the puck in the point, the way Schoenfield blocks shots. Bill Hike gets everything in the way, and when it comes to an offensive line, Perot, Martin, and Sealing, oh, folks, you got that line in your team, you're going to get a lot of goals. And young Smith and Gare are excellent hockey players. I would think this Buffalo club's going to go a long way.
Well, it's been a game and a good series. In just a moment, our 3-star selection.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 3 stars as selected by Hockey Night in Canada. The first star, Bob Sauvé. The second star, Gilles Perreault. And the third star, Harold Snepps.
We'll return with Stanley Cup 80 in just a moment.